We were in the middle of the dungeon, yeah.
Yeah, we just beat the big skelly boy.
Just typing in my Twitch thing. Getting that all set up. Alright, that should be live and ready to go. I'll put a marker on the map here, so that's the location here. So you are at a majestic mountain deep in a labyrinth that is inside of this mountain near a crystal clear lake where it reflects the mountain peaks. So a very scenic terrain, but you are down in a disgusting den of slime and filth. It's quite caustic and smelly. Alright, so having just defeated a bunch of undead, what is your next move?
Well, we rested, so we were able to replenish our health bars.
Yes. Gandro sits there meditatively. He seems a little bit impatient, but doesn't really show any outward signs of it.
All right, then. Let's find this hidden doorway.
Well, we didn't know there was a hidden doorway.
Gandro says, "There must be a hidden entrance. This can't be all of it."
Oh, stop moving, Gandros.
Well, unless it's before or like on the side of the garbage bin. I am not looking anywhere else.
I'm trying to keep my party together here. I've got a party of 4 here.
What's this?
That would be slime.
Alright.
If it's green,
No,
it's slime, probably.
This is a slime.
Yeah, no, but this marks like slime.
Yeah,
essentially.
usually marks a goo. There's some skulls and some goo, and some vines growing down from a plant or a tree growing up above. There's some broken pottery in the corner here.
Loot.
Yeah, broken pottery has no value.
No loot.
No loot. Is this a dead end?
Yeah, it goes down to the end here, and there's sort of just a little nook at the end.
Can I do an observation test?
You sure can. Observe away, whenever you wish.
Observe, I will. I think that's a success.
2 successes.
Yeah.
Alright. You do not find any secret doors or compartments. I'm going to give you a clue. You might need more than 2.
Press it. Oh, I don't see anything.
You saw nothing.
But there was the one room where you searched and found nothing as well.
Yeah,
it was filled with stink.
the garbage one. I didn't want to go in.
Yeah.
So, I could say, if we want to, we can go there, but
Gandro says, "Many a secret passage has been hidden in a lair to hide an occult practice. Perhaps, if we feel along the walls, we will find an opening or a seam, a loose brick, or some other such contraption that'll give us entrance into a hidden area."
I will feel along the walls as I move down this hallway.
I will welcome Gandros to enter the garbage bin.
Gandros will lend an assist dice to your search roll.
Who's search roll?
I don't know.
Yours.
Whoever's rolling, he has given you 1 success.
You said you were feeling the walls. So
Well,
I suppose yours. Oh.
you should feel the walls instead.
I was gonna revise the garbage bin, but since you started talking, I'm gonna revise the garbage bin and see if the garbage bin room and see if there's anything I can see.
Alright, you go into a smelly room, rank with garbage, filth, manure, dead corpses of animals. It reeks, and there are maggots and flies. It's especially filthy in here. And you do your
Don't
search.
like that I actually know what that smells like.
A vast,
need someone
garbagey
with
cesspit.
I need someone who can roll observation to do so, please.
I'm gonna do it. In the garbage one. Let's go.
I would
Wall.
not be. Probably wouldn't have.
Well, that is no successes. That is
Nothing in the
amazing.
All right.
It's the second time this has happened.
You recoil from the funk. The stench is accosting your senses, causing you great discomfort.
If there's anything in there, I cannot see it. I swear to the gods.
It smells so bad you cannot help but squint your eyes.
Just for somebody to search this wall.
This
Yeah.
wall,
Gandros is helping. He's given you a +1.
I just imagine him knocking his little staff in the walls.
Ooh.
That's one success and one complication.
Ooh, nice. All right, roll a DC or not D. You roll a D2, Fortitude.
Great, my best stat. I don't know what that is. 40.
It's resistance.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Gotta open a character sheet and get into Conan mode so I can see what all the skills are.
That's has one success.
Ooh.
Resistance, one success. All right, all right. I'm gonna make some notes here. So that was Isidore doing the search, right?
Yeah. It's impressive how you're unable to see things when luck is not on your side.
Yeah.
Gandro says, buck up, it's not all that bad. Pinch your nose. He steps forward. Somebody help me. I will search. Somebody assist.
Sure. I will assist.
So will I.
I may as well roll.
Gandros has one success.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
I am not observant.
I do not assist.
Okay.
Nor do I.
I did assist, but I failed.
Feeling around in the muck, finding nothing but disgusting filth. It is discouraging, but Gandro seems oddly persistent. Continue looking. We will find it. He almost swims in the filth. He has one success.
Ooh. I get an success.
That's two.
I get one success.
That's three.
Would 3 be enough?
Three is enough.
Fish.
Gandros is like fully immersed in the briny filth. He is face down in it. His legs are kicking. You need to pull his legs. This is your time to assist pull.
We pull.
You heave. All right, he comes up out of the muck and his hands are holding on to some sort of chain. And as he pulls, the chain is pulled up and out and you hear a draining noise. And as the muck drains and recedes, there's a bit of a clatter, and an opening begins to open on the side just a little bit, giving you access to another chamber.
Interesting.
You know what? I gotta give it to them to the old man.
Yep.
Gandros, covered in filth, says, that was difficult to find, wasn't it?
Yep.
You are going to need a bath.
He doesn't seem to care so much.
Easier does.
Yeah. Well, most normal people would.
I do not mind as long as he does not touch.
Like,
I do not mind it as long as he's 10 feet away from me.
like Rowana really doesn't want to be here.
I say,
Move the barrier.
it's okay, Rowana. Stick it out.
There's gonna be worse than this, probably.
Gandros says, now, I fear whoever hid this so well will probably also have placed guards. Use caution on entry. You know the art of stealth. Perhaps you would use caution when you enter this door. I shall stand back here.
Isidore takes his
I
right
am
arm.
somewhat decent at stealth. But my whole thing is drawing in attackers, so I think I shouldn't stealth.
I don't have great stealth either, I think. I don't know. No, I didn't
No,
have
your stealth is good. You have a,
yeah. I'm
I
gonna
have
try
11
it.
in mine.
Why not? Do we have momentum?
Do you?
No.
We do not. That is one success. I'm gonna. Well, I should have stated that later. Do it before. So it's one success.
Yeah. If you wanted to make the roll with the doom spend, you have to announce that early.
Nah, I was gonna spend my fortune.
Ah,
on
that
it.
too. Yeah, try to announce all that stuff before you make the roll, and then roll
Yep.
all of it at once.
Well, that's my stealth roll. I go inside.
All right. So the party
secret-
enters the room.
Layer.
All right, let me grab some figurines. When you go inside, there are some cultists.
Oh,
Be
great!
expected.
People can kill this. Oh, what the fuck?
Exploding cultists.
Oh no, they're arsonists.
How are
What
they
in
still
the-
cube?
What in the fuck?
Let's see, we got this one. Are you seeing cubes?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
loaded. It's like it says it completely loaded, but I'm still seeing cube.
I'm seeing cubes. That's weird, because they look like cultists to me.
Well, these four over
Yeah,
here.
these
like-
ones
Yeah,
are loaded.
these four
These ones
are
are
cultists,
cube.
and these ones are not charging at all.
Alright, so it doesn't like these 5, huh?
Yep.
But it does like these 4.
Cubers.
Interesting. Alright, well, I'll get rid of those.
I like this guy.
Some models didn't
and
save.
I like this guy.
I will use... For the
Oh.
regular cultists, I'll use this one.
Yes,
Okay.
an old bog standard cultist.
And I'll put these guys over here.
Jack in the Box.
Alright, so when you enter the room... Let's see. The enemy is going to be kind of surprised. So there's a dinner table. You enter into a grand hall. So the room you were previously in had a foul stench, but the air in this room is rather clean and scented. Like it's got like an incense has been burning, and you can smell it thick in the air. And all of the men at the table in front of you, there's like a big dinner table that seats 8. And there's men sitting around it, and they're eating. There's a brazier with a big roaring fire off to the side. There's behind them, there's like a large altar with like a prayer mat in front of it, and you can see it looks like there's a passage that goes that way. You're not in far enough to see down that way, and it looks like there's a door at the far, far, far end of this well-lit chamber. And they seem to have some stuff that's along the wall here on the left side. But immediately, all of the assembled men here, as soon as you come barging in through their secret passage that nobody should know of, they will all glare, reach into their robes, and draw out a cruel-looking curved dagger that they hold in their hand menacingly as they rise from the table. And combat begins. So, I'm going to leave it to you guys. They
Can
take
I
a
try
moment to get
headshot
up.
one of them?
What do you want to do?
I want to try and headshot one of the guys.
All right.
So
So you're doing a called shot?
yeah, this is a precision shot.
So you're
Or a
going to give
cold
me Doom because you don't have momentum.
I have fortune.
You're going to use can you use Fortune for that?
I don't know. Can I?
I don't think that's one of the things you can use Fortune for.
Well, I'm gonna give you Doom. Why not?
It's
Just a
a
single Doom.
it's a momentum spent for a call shot. It's 2 actually. 2 doom.
Ooh,
Well, that's.
you may take one out.
I have 8. That would give me 10.
You know what? Sure.
All right. You make your called shot. You're aiming for one of the cultists' head.
It's 2d20s normal, right?
If you've entered the room,
Yeah.
then you're within close range, so the difficulty is 2.
Come on, don't fuck me over. God damn it.
Oh. Well, you got 1 success and a complication. All right, so all right, your quiver is full of muck from the search. So when you reach
Disgusting.
into it, you recoil from the gross the gross goo that's all over your arrows. You might not want to use that batch of arrows at all. You might want to just discard it in disgust.
Well, I'm gonna move to here. That's my turn.
All right. Do you want that to be like outside of the close range?
Yeah, I don't mind it that much.
All right. Let's try to figure this out. So
I was thinking like there's this kind of line here.
let's call that within close range. You get in there and you can go into melee combat. You guys are maybe like, well, no, I said it had to be closer for his shot at the door, so it's got to be maybe like this is close.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's done his move. Who's next?
Greetings.
I need some action music. Hang on, let me find. There's this one that's called Cultist Cavern, which I've been waiting to use. Spooky. All right.
Ooh.
1819 is not good.
Unfortunate.
So what's that? You run in and take a swing, but the cultist just does a matrix move, leans back, and avoids your blade.
I do not like.
Who's next?
Okay. He's gonna move in and take a swing. Doesn't hit.
Oh no.
And I am going to move in. What am I gonna do? I'm just gonna call out this guy. And steely glare him.
Were you pointing at this one here?
Yep. Two successes.
All right. All right. Roll your damage.
Ooh.
Oh shit! Don't count that. Don't count that. I'll get this. Oh, okay. The die is blocking the chest. Okay, I got this. Hang on. Don't count that either. Five resolve damage.
All right. So these cultists, they have 3 soak, or 3 courage, I mean. So he actually only takes 2 resolve damage from that. He looks at you, and his eyes are wide and glassy, like a madman. Like he's got intense willpower, and this allows him to be disciplined in the face of even your powerful shouts.
Okay.
All right. So, Gandros the Wise is going to step out and peek at the enemy. And he's going to roll a lore. Let's see. Ooh, look at that. 3 successes on his lore test. And he's going to whisper to Count Apophis from the doorway without revealing himself. Beware, for our enemies are sorcerers. Worry, for reinforcements shall soon arrive, I fear.
Okay, that's lovely. I will relay that information. I'll be like, they're sorcerers. Reinforcements are coming.
Okay. So at the end of the player turn, the enemy turn begins, and what happens is one of the cultists here, he's going to go 1, 2, 3. He runs over into this zone here, and while he's running, he pulls out a horn, and he begins blowing the horn. And the blare of the horn is loud and piercing, and
Can I react to this?
no, this is on the enemy turn. So, two of these enemies, this one and this one, they're going to scatter. So I've got one that's going to run over here, and I've got one that's going to run over here near where that enemy is. All right. So when they run over here, they're both going to drop something on the ground. Give me one moment. Alright, so they throw a globe at the ground, and so let's see, this one's going to create a burning area here, and this one's going to create a burning area here. Alright. So they start creating a wall of fire to blockade you, and then these 5 in the front, with their daggers drawn, they're going to gather together. And they see the undead and how slow he moved when he attacked, so they're going to focus in on Modris, with all of them rushing on you with their daggers drawn to try to get their daggers into the nooks and crannies of your armor. Alright, so Modris, that is 3 successes. I think. Hang on a second. Let me double check that.
I mean, if it's not 3 successes, that is
Yeah.
kinda pitiful.
Yeah, the target number is 10.
Okay.
3 successes. Alright. I assume you're going to parry.
Parry, and I will use fortune. 1, 2, 3. I believe. No, that's only 2.
So 2 is enough to get a success, but not enough to decrease their momentum. They needed a... Let's see. What's your weapon?
It is a broadsword.
Alright. You've got more reach than they do, so their difficulty to attack you was actually a 3. They got exactly what they needed. Unfortunately, you needed to generate a momentum to decrease their success. And since you only had, like, your difficulty for that is a 2, I assume.
Yeah.
Typically a parry is a difficulty 2, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's still gonna hit. You get skewered by a cultist dagger. You know, only one of the 5 managed to hit you, and he only stabs you for 3 combat dice. So that's not too bad, in theory, right? It does 4 damage.
Oh, where does he hit?
No, wait, I take it back. It does 3 damage to your head. Ouch. Ooh. He slashes your cheek with his dagger. Like, I guess the blade gets through your helmet.
I'm not wearing a helmet.
Alright, well, he just slashes your cheek. Okay, so back to the party. What do you guys do?
I'm going to stab.
Save.
Ooh.
What's that, like 3 successes?
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh. So I'd have to spend 2 doom to even have a chance. Just roll damage. I'm not going to spend anything. Not on this. Not on a basic cultist.
Unfortunate.
Wow.
That's the lowest I've ever rolled.
Yeah, 3 damage.
Wow. That is.
Alright. You give the cultist a slash, and his robes show the moistness of blood trickling down his side. Who else?
I'm gonna take. Oh, do you wanna go?
Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna come here. And I'm gonna take a shot at this guy. Where am I? Here I am. I swear to God,
Not having the luck with the shots tonight.
not not having luck with anything.
Sometimes the dice are difficult.
Okay, so first my skeleton's gonna attack. And do nothing. Then I am going to steely glare the same one that I did before
Yes.
with 4 successes.
4 successes.
Nice.
Alright, roll some damage. He's just going to rely on his 3 courage soak.
Okay, well I just generated 2 momentum, right?
Yeah, difficulty 2. If you got 4 successes, you did generate 2 momentum.
And I
Eh,
for 9 damage.
9 damage. Oof. So that's 6 and 2. 8 resolve damage. 1 wound. Or trauma, I should say. Alright. This cultist surrenders. Mommy! He crawls under the table.
Okay.
That's the whole
That's my
party, huh? Alright.
mm,
So this guy is still blowing the horn. And the long note that he's been blowing comes to an end. And moments later, 4 figures begin to materialize in the room. Shadowy at first, but then becoming fully featured. So we've got... Let's see. I'm going to place this one here. One of them is going to come out of here. One of them is going to come out of here. And one of them is going to come out of here. Just sort of appearing out of the walls and out of the shadows. The barely visible forms of 4 figures just appear. And they're going to look in at what's going on here. Alright, they also draw daggers. And immediately, Isidore is going to be assaulted by these 2 that are going to
Help.
close in. So,
They can materialize and attack in the same turn?
they can if I spend Doom. Let's
Well,
see
go on.
here. So, like, secondary action... Is that 2? I think that's like... Yeah, swift action is 2. Alright, so I'm going to spend... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Doom. I spent 8 Doom. 8! Alright, so Oh no. Damn. They tried to stab you. They missed.
Fuck off.
All right. So these two cultists, they close the distance and they try to stab you, but you notice them just in time to avoid the daggers. But you can also see that they're not even like there. They're like ghostly apparitions of people, but they look very similar to these other cultists in the room. Apophis, this cultist that materialized here is going to point at you, and it's going to open its mouth in a baleful scream. This is a steely glare type attack.
Yep.
So let's see here. That's social personality. He's got 14 target number.
Against my discipline?
That means I only got one success. He doesn't succeed. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Let's see. This one that's here in the corner is going to point at Modris and do the same baleful stare and screech. So against Modris, with target number 14, I only got one success. Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Mm.
All right. So now you're not only dealing with these
He screams
cultists.
that I don't hear him.
Odris, you didn't take your damage from before.
Did I not?
No, just let you know.
I don't do touch my character. I just touch my sheet.
Oh. Well, I want to
Yeah.
be able to track you so I know.
How do I do that?
So you click on the side. You have to look at it from the front, and then click on the side, not the middle, but the side of this. There you go.
Yeah.
And then you just there
Those
you go.
3, yes?
Yep.
Alright.
Cool. Thanks.
That way I can track you guys and I know what is going on the battlefield.
Yeah, it's helpful if
Don't
you
worry.
need some healing.
I haven't been stabbed yet.
Well, your cheek was cut. You're bleeding a little bit.
Mine? What?
No, mine was.
Or yours was. Yeah.
Doesn't scare me.
All right, party, what do you do?
Ooh.
Now you face not only the cultists, but the ghosts as well. Ooh.
So I'm going to first have my skeletal warrior attack.
Yeah.
And do nothing. Yep, that's nothing. Then I will stare down one of the cultists. This one right here, if I can highlight him. Can I highlight him? There we go. This one right here.
Yeah.
And I will roll. That's 3 successes. No, 2 successes.
All right. I only got one success. Roll your damage.
That is 2, 4, 6, 7 damage.
All right. After soaking some of it with his courage, he's got 4 resolve damage. That's almost enough to beat one of these minions. Oh, wait. No, wait. That is exactly enough to beat one of these minions. He also surrenders and crawls under the table.
Oh, really? They don't have 5?
No, these guys are weak.
Oh, okay, cool.
Stabbing time.
The vigor and resolve on enemies seems to vary a little bit. Like, it doesn't even seem to be based on their stats.
Yes, stab. He do take the damage.
Who are you stabbing? Which one?
I'm going to sound the one I'm in front of.
This one?
Nope, that was only 5. 6 damage.
6 damage. Alright. You stab the cultist right through the abdomen, and his eyes go even wider, and he dies on your blade, collapsing back down onto his chair here.
How many ghosts are there? 4?
There's 4 ghosts. Yeah.
Come on. Just. There we go.
I have to lock him in
I need a
place to make that
sword.
work. It's like their upper body doesn't have any solid to it. It just goes through the table.
I mean, this one does. It's just that one, apparently.
It's all you, Isidore.
It's all me.
Ghosts.
Ghosts. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to defeat ghosts. If I move, I'm taking opportunity attacks, right?
Yeah, quite possibly.
Well, fuck me. I'm not in close range with this guy, right?
No. I think if you take a ranged attack while enemies are in melee range, they can use a reaction to hit you.
Yeah.
And
I
if
like
you
this.
run, they can use a reaction to hit you. I think there's like a withdraw feature, right?
Maybe. I don't
Yep.
know.
Full withdrawal.
If I want to dodge, I have to take my whole action, right?
I'm looking it up. Let's see. Standard actions. Withdraw. Using the retaliate reaction, an enemy may attack a character attempting to leave the enemy's reach. Use of the withdraw action prevents this. So it is your action. You'd still have your bonus action to move, and the withdraw prevents you from getting hit.
Now the thing is,
Oh, actually, hang
I
on. It
may-
says a character choosing to withdraw moves to any point within close range, which is not within reach of an enemy and cannot be the target of a retaliate reaction. This is a movement action. So the withdraw itself includes movement. So you would still have your minor action to do something else.
can I do with my action?
What can you do with a minor action? You could clear a status effect. You can draw an item. You can move. You can regain guard, or you can stand up if you were prone. For you, you would probably use it to take an extra movement, since you're not on fire or anything.
Not yet.
You know what? This is just like a little 5 feet of fire, right?
Well,
Or
he
is it, like,
he
more?
spread fire out around in front of himself. Like, I'm just filling like one space.
Whole thing.
Let's just say it's like spread around.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna withdraw and move
All right.
to here.
Now, do you want to be in the zone with them or one zone away?
Once in a way, so I can still be in close, but not in danger of being stabbed again.
Okay, so you're not in that zone. You're in this zone over here.
Man, the HOA is weird here. All this fucking zoning.
So that does increase the difficulty to shoot him with a shot.
Well, that's my turn. I cannot do anything.
No,
I think
anyway.
that is the enemy's turn now.
Did you all go? Yeah, I
Yep.
guess you did.
Yes.
Okay, so I've only got 2 cultists left here. The cultists, they're going to focus down on Modris. They're gonna make their 2 stabs. Oh, look at that! I actually got 2. That's a hit. Do you want to parry? I assume you do.
Hmm. That is only one. Shame.
You didn't succeed. All right, who else is gonna go?
It's still your turn.
Yeah.
Oh shit. The ghosts,
Didn't
right?
roll damage.
Um,
You didn't roll damage.
he's got a dagger that does 3. It stabs into you. Wow, 5 minus your
But
armor.
where?
Damn.
Because it's armored except for my head, essentially.
Oh, your head is not armor, so you take the full 5.
Yeah.
That causes a wound.
Well, no, you didn't roll where.
Oh, that's right.
You have to spend the last of your doom if you want to call it.
To the torso.
Hmm.
Right.
Yes, only 3.
Oh, that's a big difference.
Gotcha. Okay. So, he doesn't cause a wound. He only grazed you. This ghost is going to close in, and he's going to make an attack. He swings. 2. Now this time, if you want to parry, you'll have to spend a momentum.
I can spend fortune, yes?
You could spend a fortune too, I think.
I spent fortune.
Let's see, you can get a bonus die, a bonus action, a second wind, overcome a weakness, or do a story declaration. I guess you can't use a fortune on that.
Well, we do have... Yes, we do have one.
You got one.
We
You
have
can
2.
always give me doom as well. I'm low on doom if you want to give me
Do
some.
not fall for his traps.
I spend 1 momentum.
Well, we do need to generate some momentum for Apophis to actually
That
use
is
some
2.
spells.
Or 3, actually.
Okay, he misses.
And does that generate momentum?
Yep.
Alright, that's another momentum then.
Well, on a defensive reaction, you're just decreasing his momentum. So you turned his success into a fail by generating 1 point of momentum that decreased his 2 successes to 1. So it usually only counts on your turn when you're making an action that you generate momentum.
And repulsed.
Yeah, when you're really good at that
Repost.
too. Okay, so I've got these 2 guys.
Oh, I repost. No. No repost.
No riposte. Okay. I got these 2 guys. One's gonna go here. One's gonna go here. This one attacks your toughened skeletal warrior. Swish goes his blade. His phantasmal blade. 1 success, no good. And then the one that's going after Apophis, he drives his dagger towards your heart. He's got... Hang on a second.
If that is not 2, that will be funny.
No, I think he kind of isn't great. 9, 10. He needs a tenor. So neither of those is a success.
What about this one?
And then we got one more. He's going to move into this zone here, and he's going to join against Modrus, who seems like the bigger, burlier fighter. Driving his dagger in. He's got 18s, nothing. All right, your armor is too good. One of the cultists that approaches Count Apophis here, like the ghostly apparition, says, "Cursed ones, you shall not succeed."
Okay.
What do you do?
Modrus.
Can I? I'm gonna. Can I try something? Something stupid, but I.
Wait,
Alright.
did another one try to attack me?
Oh, yeah. You've got 2. 2 regular and 2 ghostly cultists.
Can I
Did
try
he
something?
deal damage? Because I wasn't paying attention.
No,
No.
he didn't.
They missed.
Okay.
They're still cultists. They're not super capable warriors. They only have a target number of 10 on their stabs.
Isidore, what are you gonna do? Change of fate.
Yeah. Jesus. I am going to use. It's marksman the one that gives me the d20s, or is it quick? Furnace the one that gives me the fucking d20s. I don't remember.
You perform ranged attacks with precision. You may spend a minor action before attempting a ranged attack, putting a little more time and effort into your attack. When you do this, you gain an additional momentum for the attack.
Second.
So that's your bonus action. And then, did you want to do the quick release where you spend one of your arrow stacks?
Give me 1 second because I know there's. Oh, here it is. Quick release. There it is. I'm gonna do a quick release in the. Into this guy. If I have to go close range, I'm gonna go close range or whatever.
Okay. Well, you can't use marksman if you're moving.
I can't because it's my minor action. Well, whatever.
Your minor action is to move, though.
I'm gonna do it with the difficulty. And I'm gonna spend a quiver. So that's 1 extra d20. And I'm gonna use my 1 fortune. So that's 40 20s. Oh, now you give me good shit, motherfucker. 4.
4 successes. That's solid. That's gonna. It's gonna generate. Let's see. It's difficulty 3 from this range. So 1 momentum was generated in addition to the one you already had.
Right. And that's 7. 7 damage die, I believe. So 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well, hang on. Your bow does 3. You get +2 from ability. That's 5, and you're getting one from the things. That's 6.
Yeah. Well, let's take out. So let's get one of those heroes out, and I'm gonna reroll 3 of those heroes. So that's 5.
5 damage.
2. Wait a second.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
All right, you
The
shoot him
one
down.
that's-
Shot him in the back. Ah!
And that's it.
He falls right into his own fire.
Not getting those arrows back.
May I make a suggestion? I think maybe you shouldn't spend momentum on fighting the cultists because they're
I thought I was doing something with the ghost. It didn't happen.
I'm pretty
I
sure
was-
because of the way Marksman is set up, he has to use that momentum on the attack.
yeah.
The other momentum that he generated, he could put in the pool, but the one that comes from Marksman, he has to
talking about-
use.
I was talking about the fortune point that he spent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but pay no mind to that.
You got one, though. All right, so cultist goes down.
I stab.
Where's that?
Modrus stabs at.
Oh, that is 4 success.
God damn.
I stab at a ghosty boy.
Ghosty boy. All right. Here's where things get interesting. How many successes did you have?
4.
4. It doesn't hit. It's actually a
What?
D5 to hit a ghost.
Huh?
It's a D5 to hit one of these guys. They cannot be touched because they're ghostly.
I do not like.
It's very tough. What could they possibly be guarding to be so powerful? Such terribly powerful sorcerers.
Okay, is it my turn?
Looks
Yep.
like it, yep.
I'm gonna use Raise the Dead to try and turn one of these ghosts.
Okay.
So I'm gonna spend 1 resolve, and then I am going to roll my 2 dice. Let me see. Hang on. I don't know if my focus is 4 or 5. Oh, on sorcery it is 3. But that's 2 successes.
Okay. You cast it, and you'll find it does not work because they are not actually undead. These are living men, but they are doing astral wandering, which means they are in their astral form.
Do I know of any way to deal with someone in their astral form?
Probably not. I don't think you've encountered this kind of sorcery before. This would be new magic to you. It would probably pique your interest quite a lot because you've never seen it.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So,
in that case, can I spend a momentum to get an extra turn, to get an extra action?
I think it's 2.
It's 2 momentum to get an extra action?
Yeah, let's look at the chart here. So, momentum spends for a where is that? Swift action 2. Character gains an additional standard action, increasing the difficulty by 1 step on any skill test that action requires.
Ah, fuck. Alright, never mind.
Okay. These 2 cultists are going to help.
Skeleton go?
I don't know if he did. Did you attack with the skeleton?
I don't think so, actually. The skeleton is going to attack the living cultists, or the ones that aren't in astral form.
You want to do this one that's already wounded here?
Sure. That is no successes.
Ooh. Okay, so these 2 cultists are going to assist this ghost cultist in attacking your toughened skeleton warrior. And I've only got 1, so that's nothing. And then, let's see, these guys are going to team up to attack Modris. Alright. I've got 2 successes to hit you. Do you parry?
Yes.
Rolls.
Oh no.
Mm.
Their blade gets through, but it does no damage.
There was a complication, too.
True. Alright.
Oh, I could roll like this in D&D.
Let's see. On the complication, this cultist here is going to I don't know. I don't know. He falls down.
No,
Like a
it was
pro.
my complication.
Yeah, 2 people talking at once. What?
It was my complication.
On the parry?
Yeah.
All right. The strap on your shield is loose. You need to cinch it up. You can spend a bonus action to do that. Alright, so that was them, and this is the only other one. He's going to stare daggers into Count Apophis' soul.
Yeah, I'm gonna stare right back at this motherfucker.
How dare you enter the temple? Oh no. And then he coughs. He has a coughing fit. He seems kind of old. He only got 1 success.
I'm gonna stare at him right back and say, your soul is mine. It's my turn, right?
It is.
Okay. 2 successes.
2 successes. All right, roll some damage. No, wait, hang on. Maybe I will spend a doom on an extra dice.
Isn't it already a doom for the reaction?
All right, I'll spend 2 doom. What do I got here? I got 5, 7, 9, and for a cultist,
That should be good for a cultist. If it's not, that's kind of pitiful.
let's see. He doesn't have any stats in fortitude, so it's all based on willpower. He's got target number of 10, so 3 successes. He does manage to not be affected by your soul-stealing threats.
Okay.
Okay,
They literally 10 and 10.
then my Skelly's gonna attack. 1 success.
No. Okay, so who wants to go? Modris? Isidore?
Yes, I attack.
Oh, there you go.
What's with my rolls? Why am I not rolling like this in D&D?
I don't know, man.
The cultists are dodging his attacks. What do you do?
Oh, and I cinch up my shield.
Yeah. I assume that was your first move.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna move close range with this one.
All right, you get in closer. Oh,
And
no.
I'm gonna spend 1 quiver to use marksman. So that's 3 dice.
Quick release, you mean?
Yes. That is exactly what I mean.
Why don't you write down what they do on your sheet so you know?
I don't know. I am lazy. That is 2 successes.
Okay, that's all you needed from this range.
So why don't you do it like right now? Then next week you'll know. You'll just be like, oh look, I can look on my sheet and I know what it does.
I could give you some note cards
No.
if you want, if you just want to make a little note about it.
No, it's okay. I'll just do it in when my turn is done. Well, that's 5 damage. No. Yeah, it's 5 damage.
How you getting 5?
To the one guy that is in front of me.
Oh, you have accurate too, that's why.
Yeah.
Alright, you drop him. An arrow right to the face.
And he pops right back up.
The living dead. He just won't stay down. Not really. Oh. So I didn't do anything with this guy last time. He actually was going to just like run away. So he disappeared off down this corridor.
That's all that he has been doing, is running.
Okay, so it's my turn, and the 2 cultists and the ghost cultist will team up on your toughened skeleton warrior one more time. I've got 2 successes.
Okay, so how much
Okay.
damage?
Your skeleton warrior is stabbed in the face for 2 damage.
Okay, does he have any armor? Does he have any resistance?
Let me take a look here. So I looked it up the other day. Skeleton warrior toughened is on page 342. So the stats we're supposed to be using are these ones. We might have been doing it wrong before.
What page? 342?
340, well, 342, yeah. So let's see. Agility 9, combat 2. So it's actually an 11 target number to attack with him.
Oh, well, then he's made several attacks successful this time.
So let's see. He's got 9 vigor, and he just got hit for 2. So he's got like 7 hit points left.
He's got armor 2, so he soaks 2.
Okay, so he's got 8 of 9.
So if he's just hit for 2 damage, then he doesn't take any damage.
Oh yeah, armor 2. So no damage.
Skeleton is as tanky as me.
Okay. So I've got 2 ghosts on Modris here, and they're going to coordinate to attack him.
I thought that 7 seemed ridiculously low.
Ooh, 2 successes. Parry away.
No.
Okay. Well, the ghost sinks his blade in. You're getting chip damage. Oh, it actually does no damage. Look at that.
No damage.
This one here says to Apophis, "You must abandon your quest, fool! You know not what you do." And then he uses his baleful stare attack at you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's got 2 successes. Roll your discipline, difficulty 2. If you can get, I think you actually need 3 successes to beat him.
Wait, 3 successes to beat him?
Yeah, I could go back and read the rule again. Let's see.
My understanding is that a discipline check is 2 successes.
Struggles. Alright, when 2 characters are in direct opposition to one another, each character involved in the task performs a skill test related to the action. The character achieving the greatest quantity of momentum succeeds, achieving the goal, though the final amount of momentum is reduced by 1 point for each point of momentum scored by the loser. In other words, the losing opponent's level of success detracts from the winner's. In the case of a tie, a player character wins unless the Game Master spends 1 point of doom.
Okay, well, I had 1 success, so that detracts from the 3 then. Did you say 3, or was it 2? I think it was 2. I just pulled the 3 out of my ass.
So he needed 2, so he succeeded. And
Yep.
then you needed 2 and you succeeded. All right.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you only got 1. All right.
I got 1 success and a complication.
All right. So I think the way it works, right? If you had gotten 2 successes, it would be a tie and you would win. Unless I spend a doom, in which case I would win.
Yep.
And then if there's momentum, if you generate momentum, it decreases my momentum.
Yep.
Man, the system's weird. I have a hard time wrapping my brain around it. It just seems like you need a lot of successes to really beat someone there. Although the
I just needed a 2 for his 2, unless you spent Doom.
tiebreaker thing makes it a little more fair.
Wait, why can you spend Doom? What does the Doom actually do in that scenario?
Doom to win. That's all that is. There's several like that, where you just pay Doom to succeed, or you pay Doom to just win on a ambush.
So it's Doom to break a tie, or
Yeah. Doom breaks ties in my favor, whereas it would go to the player normally.
Gotcha. Well, you don't need to spend any doom. I got a complication and a success, so it's... What are you doing?
All right. He stares daggers at you. And he's going to say foul words. And let's see. His Steely Glare does 4 mental with stun. A curse on you! A curse! It does 6 minus your courage.
Which makes it 2.
You've got 4 courage right now? That's strong.
Yeah, I've got 4 courage.
So you take 2 mental damage, and because I rolled 2 effects, it's going to do a stun on you unless you pay a doom.
I can't pay a momentum?
I guess you could. Do you want to do that instead?
Yeah, I'm going to pay a momentum to avoid the stun.
Cool. All right. And this dude runs away further. These guys did. They already went. It's your turn. You're chewing through my cultists. I've only got a few left.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. I want to stare this down right back.
The power of the Steely
2
Glare.
successes.
Alright, so I can roll 2 dice, and I could tie you, but you would win unless I spend Doom, which I don't have. So just roll your damage. The cultist leader has courage 3, but this is probably the most effective attack against them.
I do... Oh, really? 4 damage.
Which turns into 1.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, just do that 9 more times and you got him.
Okay, so I have an attack that seems to be the most effective thing that any of us can do against these ghostly figures, and I have to do it 9 more times to win.
No, you just have to roll much, much, much better on the damage dice, really.
Oh, well,
You could one shot these guys if you rolled like near your max.
I can't roll much better. I mean, like, I can probably roll like a 6 or maybe if I get real lucky, a 7.
Well, look at all those zeros you rolled.
Yeah, and those zeros come up every time, statistically.
What if they were 2s, though? He'd be down right now.
Yeah, not gonna happen, statistically.
But
And
you do see that he recoils from your attack. Your mental attack has more effect on him than any of the physical attacks seem to have thus far.
Yep. Which means I can take control of them, which is lovely, and I'll probably do that next turn. But anyways, that's my turn.
skeleton.
Yeah, what does your skeleton do? Let's not forget him. He's even stronger than he was before. Now that we know that he has a target number of 10 instead of 7.
Oh, it's 11. Don't try to undersell me again, and that's 2 successes to hit. What's his damage die?
You got the books too, dude.
Where does it say CD?
It's under their attack section. It's just
Oh,
it's just annoying because I keep having to flip back and forth to different sections of the book. I'm like looking at my cultist stats, and I don't want to change away from it.
I'm looking at him right now. Oh, apparently he has parrying with his sword.
Keep in mind you're using the second number, not the first one, because he's a toughened.
Yeah.
You can parry too? Oh my god, we're the same.
He has reach 2, 5 attack dice, and parrying.
He's
Which means
just me, but dead.
he's just you, but dead.
Yeah, but he's only got 8 vigor. Or no, he's got how much does he have? Like 10?
He has way more vigor than I do.
He has 9 vigor.
9 vigor. All right.
I mean, yeah, he's still a bit weaker, but yeah, it's essentially the same.
Okay, I will roll his combat dice. Oh, come on. Well, count this roll and then the one more. So that's a total of
6 damage?
Oh.
6.
yeah, 6 damage.
Effect.
6
Alright.
damage.
Which one of these cultists is he chopping?
The one on whoever's not damaged.
All right. Off comes his head. He collapses in a pile. The undead warrior chops him.
And stab.
All right, so then it's my turn.
Not yet.
These-
Wait,
I haven't
what?
gone yet.
No. I haven't gone either.
Oh, you didn't? All right.
Yeah, no. I stabbed that man, and I get a momentum.
Oh, yeah, I guess Apophis started it right off because he wanted to
Yep.
go. Yeah. Instead of going last. All right. Who is going then?
That man is dead.
Oh my god.
That's 8 damage.
Targeting this one here?
Yeah, level 1.
Okay. All of the regular cultists
All of the above.
are either down or ran away.
Yeah, there's only one who's...
Is that supposed to be a
No, there's 3 who are alive, but 2 are just shitting themselves.
Yeah. They're considered like passed out, surrendered, out of combat.
Non-combatants,
Yeah.
who are going to eventually die.
All right. Well, Isidore hasn't gone yet, right?
Now I'm gonna go to here. And I'm gonna try to shoot one of the guys because I have nothing else to do.
Now, it is a difficulty 5 to hit a astral body. It is incredibly hard. You'd have to use fortune and momentum. You'd need to roll 5 dice and land every one of them.
Do these count as minions or toughened?
These are nemesis opponents.
Wait, these are nemesis?
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, then I don't think I can even enslave them.
So with marksman that'll be 3. If I spend my fortune, that's 4.
No, I can. There's nothing that says I can't.
Neat.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna try it. I'm not gonna spend momentum. I'm gonna spend my fortune and my last quiver of arrows.
All right.
If I can.
So that
edit
gives
this shit.
you 2 extra dice.
Yep.
You need 5 to hit, though, so are you spending that momentum too?
No, I am not. I'm
So are you just-
trusting in my. I'm trusting in my luck right now.
You're just hoping one of those dice is going to roll on your focus numbers.
Yep.
All right. All right. It's a long shot. Let's see if you got... Is that actually 5 successes?
I
Yeah.
think that, is
Fuck
that not
you.
6, actually? Is that
That's
not
6
6?
success. I think it is 6 successes. I don't know. What is my right now? That's only 5.
Aw.
Okay, well, 5 is
Oh
what you
my God.
needed. I don't have
I
a
mean, we
doom
could've
to
gained a
react, so you get to roll damage on him.
Oh
Now-
my god.
Now, there's a trick to this, though.
Yes.
Against regular weapons, they get 4 combat dice of cover. So,
Of.
For combat dice of what?
cover. So
That's
he's gonna
good.
soak 3 damage. And you did 3 damage, so he soaks it.
I haven't done damage yet.
Okay.
That is my regular 5.
Okay.
Ignore
So
ignore that. Well, no, don't ignore it. That is 1, 3, 5, 6 damage. So he still receives 3 damage.
gotcha. Okay. 3 damage to this one on the right.
I love that your little guy has animation.
The cult leader cannot believe that your arrow managed to pierce him, even in his astral form.
I must run next turn.
Yeah.
That was a very difficult shot, but you did manage to hit.
Jesus Christ. Oh, that's my turn. I don't know what you want me to do.
Damn.
I think it is the enemy turn now.
Did you go
Yes.
first?
Yeah,
What?
I
Everyone's
stabbed the
gone.
man.
All right. So the enemy turn. Let's see. How do I want to do this?
How do you want to do this?
Why would you put us against 4 nemesis?
All right. This cult leader is going to attack your toughened skeleton. He stabs with his dagger. Whoosh. He fails. And then let's see. Each of these guys is going to try to get Modris. The one is going to assist the other in the attack. So I'm rolling 3 dice to stab, stab, stab. That
No.
is only 1 success. That does not get through. And then, all right. This cult leader here is going to point at Apophis and say, "If you continue, you doom the world." And he attacks you with his dread shout. Nothing. All right. Party turn.
Okay, so I am going to cast Enslave on this cult leader.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have any momentum? Can I spend the momentum? Does anyone mind?
Well, the momentum is mostly for you in general.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm just
that's your
checking.
momentum.
I'm just
Yeah.
making. So I am going to then spend a fortune to roll 4 dice.
Did you use your minor action to focus?
Yes.
Okay.
That is 4 successes and a complication.
Ooh, interesting. I'm going to use your complication to generate some doom, because I didn't have any. Alright, 4 successes. Let's see here.
That's actually 2 complications.
Oh yeah, double complication.
Yep.
Gotta love sorcery. Alright, well I needed the doom anyway, so... So you're maintaining eye contact with the target, and he is in that, like, state, the staggered state.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to use doom if he wants to do an action now. And that'll last for a turn. You don't have the
Now-
momentum to spend on a duration extend, right?
Now I got 4 successes, so that generates how much momentum? 2, right?
It's a... Let's see. It says your sorcery D1 versus the most strong-willed target's D2.
Hold on a second.
So you generate, what, 3 momentum on that?
3 momentum.
Yeah,
And I'm going to spend
Sweet.
all 3 momentum on affecting all 4 of these cult leaders.
Yeah, I guess they're close enough.
Okay? And that's my turn. They are now staggered.
Hang on, hang on.
Yes.
I don't think they can be... Because, like, that effect, it says you can affect minions or toughen, but it doesn't say anything about nemesis. But that doesn't seem right. Like, why would your power not work on them? Or maybe it's that you just can't increase to the number of, like... What would it be, like, a step above? So if 4 minions turns into 2 toughen, maybe it would turn into, like, 1 nemesis. So if you wanted to do 4 nemesises, you would need a D4. Which you had, right?
Yeah.
Alright. So I think to do that, you should probably like open by saying, I want to target all 4 of them, which makes the difficulty D4. And then you roll all your dice.
Okay.
But we can
Well,
reverse engineer it. It's fine. So yeah, you hit all of them. And they're all staggered right now.
Okay.
And then next turn, you're going to try your mind control effect on them?
Yep.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. All right. So you hit them all with your sorcery, the power of Sit. Okay. And then, Modris, what do you do?
What's on the table?
Food. Delicious, delicious food.
Food.
They're staggered. You're just going to walk over and start eating a chicken off the table. Chicken.
Yeah, I'm kind of hungry. Could use some rations.
Does your skeleton do anything?
Oh, my skeleton. Yeah, he'll attack for whatever it's worth.
It's a 5. He's only going to get a 4 at most.
He can't successfully attack. So he attacks and nothing happens.
All right. Isidore,
Me.
you're going to sit down and eat at the table too?
What is happening? I had to go do something, so...
Apophis
What's he
used the
doing?
power of Set to stagger all of the ghostly apparitions.
Do not they have, like, lower combat difficulty because of that?
When you're staggered, you cannot do anything without spending Doom. They can only perform a reaction by spending 2 points of Doom, and they can only take an action by spending 1 point of Doom.
Oh.
Yeah, just show me at the table.
I don't know. I'm just gonna try to...
I'm eating some food because,
Whatever.
hey, well, I can't hit them. Unless I spend a moment.
Or Doom.
Yeah.
And even then, it's unlikely.
I mean, like, I would need to roll a success and 2, 5.
Well, you know, you guys can do threatened attacks too. You might not be skilled in it, but you might pull one off. You never know.
I'm gonna try to stab this guy with my hunting knife. With one.
Great. It passes right through him.
Success.
Whoosh. Your
Now I'm
hand
just
is
gonna
covered
look
in a
at
little bit of
hobbies.
ectoplasm.
Well, we're dead.
It's a ghost. What do I do?
Try to threaten him, Modris.
No, I mean chicken.
How
That's
do you,
my turn.
you have to call out by the power of Mitra compels you. The power of Mitra compels you. Begone, evil spirits. You know, like an exorcism.
Where's the... What? How do we do that?
I don't know. Okay, so the enemies look around, and they let's see. I'm going to spend 1 Doom for this apparition in front of you to swing his dagger at Apophis awkwardly. So here comes this wild swing of a dagger. Ooh, 2 successes.
2 successes?
Yes.
Are you sure it's 2 successes?
I believe so.
It's
Cult Leader
equal-
has combat of 1.
he was- it-
Combat focus 1.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So how much damage?
Okay, you're not going to
And what's
try
he dealing?
to...
What is he dealing it to?
He would hit you right in the torso for 4.
For 4 damage?
Minus armor.
Wait,
Yeah, minus.
wait. Did you roll? Hang on. Did you roll d20s there?
I rolled the location dice. That's what that last one is.
Oh. The 9 is a location die and the others are combat die?
Correct.
Okay. So,
You can
It's
see it
me-
was a 1, a 1, a 2, and then the location torso is on a 9.
okay. Sorry, that confused me. Okay, so that's reduced by 2 from armor 2.
All right.
Okay.
20% of your health chipped off. Whoosh.
Is it my turn?
The other ghosts are staggered and do not act. What do you guys do?
Okay. I am going to spend... how much do I need? Hang on. Do you know what page it's on? Roughly?
Which one?
Enslaved.
Enslave is on page 177.
I've got it written down on the sheet, too. I should have just looked there.
So you'd be making a new sorcery test, and then you'd want to spend momentum on one of these effects in the table here. 1
Yeah.
point for what the heart wants,
Yeah,
2
I'm
points
just
for
trying to
fortune
figure out.
favors the bold.
So I have a D4. So I need to roll 4 dice. So I'm going to spend a fortune and generate 1 doom. And now you may die. Let's see, that is... I think it's a 17. Yep, 17. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. No momentum, so they all take 1 illusory wound.
I think you have to pick one of them to target them with this.
No. Anyone who's enslaved by me takes 1 illusory wound. We've done this before.
Where does it say that?
That's what we did in the room with the longhouse.
It's like they're saying victim singular, though. Wouldn't they be saying victims, like plural?
But I'm not affecting 1 victim. I'm affecting 4 victims.
Well, before you use the ability to target multiple victims, but then here you're trying to snuff out the will to live of a target.
Of those that I have enslaved.
I'm going to say it only works on 1 target. At least
Well,
if they're of nemesis quality, you can't kill them all in 1 shot.
Well, if that's the case, I mean, I don't know what else we can do. Like, we should just go home now. Like, we can't hit these things.
What works on minions and toughened isn't as effective on nemesis level opponents.
It should affect all 4 of them. They're all enslaved. Otherwise, why would I enslave all 4 of them?
All right, fine, whatever. 1 wound.
Okay, so that's 1 illusory wound on all of them.
I need to make a note to research this thoroughly later, because I fully disagree.
Because this is what we did in the longhouse, and it worked then.
Yeah, but those were minor enemies. I didn't care about them. These are bosses. It's different.
Well, it seems like this is the only thing that affects them. Like, we've tried everything else, and this is the only thing that'll have any effect.
Alright, if successful, the spell inflicts a wound plus 1 additional wound for every point of momentum rolled.
Right, and I didn't get any extra momentum, so I just did the 1 wound.
If your victim survives this attack, these injuries will be revealed as illusory. See illusory wounds. No page number given, of course. Oh wait, it's right here. Illusory wounds are only present in the mind of the one suffering them. So long as the victim is not killed by these wounds, they can be completely healed with an average D1 counsel test. All right, well that's cool. Good to know. Not effective, or not like relative to this this combat, probably relevant to it.
Does that mean I killed him?
No. These guys can take a lot of trauma. So that's.
They can take one.
I think they can take as many traumas as you can. So this is like 1/5 of killing them all.
1/5.
Yeah, it's the fifth trauma would drop them.
Each of these 4 people. Oh my god, dude, what are you doing? Okay. All right.
Okay. There's a trick here which you guys haven't figured out. You're not trying a whole lot of things, but there is definitely some stuff that you could do here.
Well, I've tried something new on every turn, so I'm certainly trying things.
I don't know what to do.
You guys need a hint?
It would be nice.
Yeah, this is one of those tricky battles where there's like a gimmick to it, and you guys have to like figure it out.
Do we have to get the horn?
I suppose.
All right.
I feel like that's what we need to do.
Whose turn is it? Modris? Isidore?
If you want me, I can go first.
We can go first.
Oh, this one's the guy that had the horn, right?
Yeah, that one dead over there.
Yeah, pick it the horn.
You take the horn. It's a lovely horn,
Blow it.
gilded in silver. It makes a long, clean note.
Well, that didn't work.
You think it would make them disappear?
No, but at least maybe, I don't know, invoke some of us. I don't know.
I shout out, maybe we have to kill their bodies. Maybe we have to find their bodies and kill them.
Ooh, now you're thinking.
Well, whose bodies are they from?
And where are their bodies? There is a door at the far end of the room you guys haven't explored.
Yeah, I would assume they're somewhere in this temple.
Well, I use my turn to blow the horn.
Okay, Modris.
I told this one his mother is a whore and walk this way.
All right. Well, they're still staggered,
Okay.
so I'm not going to react. All right. Well, now that you've all gone, I'll give you a hint. All right. Here's the hint. Gandros slips into the room, and he sees the cult leader, and he pulls out a small glass globe, and he throws it at the cult leader's feet. Take this, fiend! The burning globe of fire ignites the ground, and the ghost in the fire takes 2 combat dice worth of damage. Which is 2 damage.
My brain hurts.
Light your arrows on fire.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Gandros says, "Elements work against the astral. Use fire."
Who has the
What?
torch?
how were we supposed to know that?
Well, it's an experimental thing. You could have tried a lot of different things, but yeah, I'll give you
It would have died by then.
I'll throw you a bone and help you out with my NPC. It's fine. Now you guys won't feel completely useless. You realize you can use fire against them, and there's plenty of fire in the room.
Where's the torch?
I'm holding the torch.
Alright.
Fire them up.
And Gardner still has a big fire stick.
All right. After Gandros, the cult leader is going to point at Apophis and say, "You must not do this." And he's going to So he's not staggered anymore, right?
Yep.
It lasts 1 turn. All right. So he's going to use his baleful glare at you. Boom, boom. What's my target number here? Personality 11, social 3. Target number 14. That's right, 14. 2 successes.
I do not succeed. Wait, hang on. Discipline is really high. But I do not succeed.
Okay. What he's saying shocks you to your core for 1 point of damage.
I absorb that.
And you're not even stunned by it. Goddamn.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's see. Since Modris took off and these guys aren't stunned anymore, they're going to converge on your undead, and they're all going to try to attack it one by one.
That's not cool.
All right. So the first one, stabby stab to the left flank. He misses. The other one comes from the front, stabby stab to the front. One success, no good. The other one comes from the right flank, stabby stab. He gets 2 successes. Will you
But does
parry?
he do enough damage?
Well, your skeleton can parry if he wishes.
Yeah. Parry.
Okay. However, his parry generates a doom.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
He does not have my
it's a reaction, and he doesn't have
talent.
the talent.
Oh, I thought if it said parrying, he got it.
Nah, that just means he can use the weapon to parry. But it does cost a doom.
He succeeds.
Okay. You deflect the dagger, the third dagger that came in. That's all I got. Back to you.
I'm going to take whatever amount of fire globes this guy had.
You dig through his corpse. You find 2 additional unused fire globes.
Right, I'm gonna move to here.
Do you jump
You
up
stand on
onto
the
the table?
Yes.
You launch yourself up onto the table heroically.
Screaming a battle cry
I knew
because
it.
I'm
Throw
done
his
with
globe.
this place already.
It did take your action to find the globes, though. So
Yeah, no, it's just flavor that I jump on it. I don't do anything else.
Okay. Modris, what do you do?
I will take the globes from this man.
All right. You spend your action digging through his belongings until you find his 3 globes, because he hadn't used any.
And then I go this way.
I will tell you though, his globes are greenish, and they are not the color of those other globes that you saw.
Do you really want to go that direction?
I mean, there is a man over here. A man who needs to die.
One that got away.
Okay.
I mean, you have enough fire globes to deal with them.
If you say so.
Just search your bodies.
Well, I'm kind of like in combat with one right now.
All right.
Which I will hold a torch to his face.
All right. You hold your torch into the face of the enemy. He takes his 2 combat dice of damage.
Do I roll it?
I'm rolling it here. 3. Let's see, what's he at? He's got 5. Oh no. Actually, hang on. I'm going to say he's trying to avoid it, so make that an attack roll.
Okay.
You can probably hit him. He's just a sorcerer. He's not especially
I rolled the wrong
hard to
thing.
hit.
Ignore that.
I know combat isn't your forte, but
What am I rolling?
melee
be-
attack,
Yeah.
Oh, 0 successes.
0 successes. All right, all right. Sorry, I take that back. He doesn't get burnt. Not by that. He will get burned by the fire on the ground, though, so I'll just keep that damage from that fire. Okay. 3 stabs against your undead.
Already did that.
No, it's you.
Yeah, it's a new turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
You guys all went?
Oh, what did you do, Istor?
He jumps up on the
I
table
took-
here.
I jump on the table with 2 bottles of fire in my hands.
Unfortunately, it does take an action to find the items on the corpse and retrieve them. Okay, so I had these 3 guys. They were attacking the skeleton. The first one has success and a complication. He actually, like, drops his dagger, I guess. and then he'll spend his minor action retrieving it. The next one attacks. No good. And the last one of that group attacks. Trying to stab. He gets 2 successes. Will you parry? At the cost of 1 doom?
No, I will not parry.
Alright. So, because he got his 2 successes, he hits you with his little dagger, which only does 2 damage.
Which is nothing.
Yeah.
Which does nothing. See, these guys, they're really hard to hit, but they don't hit very hard themselves, which
I
gives
only
you
got hit
guys...
twice.
Which in theory gives you guys time to, you know, experiment and figure out the trick to it. Although your idea about attacking their mortal bodies is also a smart idea. I hadn't considered that, but that would totally work, if you can find them. Alright, I still got this guy here. He's going to use his minor action to... No, he's going to use his action to withdraw, and then his minor action... Let's see. 5, 10... Let's see. He's going to run all the way across from this zone to that zone there. And then with his minor action, he's going to run all the way over to... way back here, giving himself quite a bit of space from all of you. Okay, that's it. Back to you guys. Rowana screams, "You can do it! Don't die!"
Promise nothing.
Okay. There's a cultist, and he's gone to the back of this room here, and there's this pool of swirling water before him.
Hello there.
All right. He seems to have been waiting for something, because when you step into the room, he reaches behind him and pulls a lever. Give me just a second. Let me spawn something in. Alright, behind you, a huge block drops with a heavy thud, sealing you into this room here. And the swirling pool of water on the floor begins to rise and bubble up out of its pit and fill the room. The cultist cackles and says, "Doom!" and points at you.
Is one?
No. I'm over in the room down
Oh,
here.
there you are.
Alright. The room begins to flood, and the doors are sealed. So that was Modris. Isidore, what do you do?
I'm in sort of close range, right?
You're in close, but not in melee.
I'm here.
If you're going to use a fire globe, you don't want to be in melee.
Well,
It is a ranged weapon.
I am here. Then I'm throwing one to this one.
Okay. You throw a fiery globe.
Do I have to make the range attack?
Yep.
Okay. That's 2 successes.
2 successes. Alright, 2 successes would hit. If I do a defend reaction, it's a D2 acrobatics to avoid. these guys really don't like fire, so I'm gonna spend the doom to make a D2 reaction. Look at that, 3 successes. Alright, so you throw fire down, but this cultist actually sidestepped it. But there's still a burning patch of flame filling the area right there.
Okay.
Targets hit are set on fire for a number of turns equal to the effects rolled. At the end of each round, they burn. Let's see. It affects the target, anyone in reach of the target, and 1 additional close target. Everybody here was in reach. Well, no, maybe not everyone. These 2 were. So the toughened skeleton and the cult leader. So, let's see. That other cult leader, he's going to try to get out of the way. And let me double check his stats. Acrobatics. He's got agility 9, movement nothing. Damn, target number 9. So he's only got 1 success. He takes the burn. You want to roll 2 combat dice for how much it burns him?
Okay.
Ian, do you want to spend a doom for your skeleton to try to avoid it? It'd
Well,
be
that's 2 zeros.
2 dice acrobatics to avoid it.
Wait, I can re-roll those zeros.
Oh shit!
Well,
What
fuck.
was it? 342.
I think so, yeah.
42. His agility is 9, so nope.
Not gonna bother? Alright.
Nope.
Alright, well. Actually, I think I have that wrong. It's 3 combat dice. Do you want to roll 1 more?
Sure.
3 combat dice of fire.
Wait a second. I'm lost in the table. Here I am.
And effects matter as well. Ah, there's the effect I was looking for.
Hey.
So what's he at? -2 vigor from the burning, and then the effect spreads to this other cult leader, and he tries to avoid it as well. And he gets 2 successes. So I had to spend a doom for that as well, but he did not burn. Ooh, I'm
Okay, is it
getting
my
a-
turn?
Getting a laggy lag spike.
Is it my turn?
Okay. Yep.
I tell Gandros, defend the girl, and then I am going to move over here and look that way.
Oh, my game is bugged. Damn it. Give me just 1 moment.
Okay.
And so that's our turn.
It's gonna reload the table. Give it a minute.
No, we're still on my turn.
Nah, it's still bugged. Tabletop Simulator has this interesting bug, right? So if I'm holding in a direction to move my camera and it starts to lag, sometimes when it like recovers, it'll perpetually be moving in that direction and there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
So I was stuck off in a corner,
Happens
unable
with
to
a
see the
lot of
table.
things.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
So I shut down the server. I'm going to boot it back up in a moment after it cloud syncs. Yeah, an unfortunate bug that they never squashed. Sometimes I can hit the spacebar to center the camera and it recovers, but I don't know. Other times it's just bugged, can't be fixed. But the table will be back up in roughly 20 seconds. I'm actually going to go grab some coffee. Seems like a good time to use the bathroom and make coffee and all that.
Yep.
I'm gonna eat something. I'm hungry.
Okay, I'm back. And I made coffee. Coffee is delicious. This cultish ambience is really good. Shout out to Tabletop Audio, makers of great role-playing audio soundscapes. Not too shabby. The table is up. If you want to reconnect. Hang on, I should go grab some water too. Anyone back yet?
I'm here.
I feel like what I need is like a little physical token for each one of you. And for the enemies that I can have sitting on my table here that's just like a marker of who's gone and who hasn't. Because keeping track during a turn, I find like a little bit difficult. Partially because I'm so used to D&D where everything goes in the same turn order again and again. It throws me for a loop a little bit how asynchronous this one is. All the players can go in whatever order they want. I mean, I like it in theory. It's just like wrapping my brain around it. It's a little tough. I lose my my position in like what the turn order should be sometimes.
What is happening?
I'm just saying I need like a token or something, like some little thing I can have sitting on my desk that marks whether you've gone or not. And then after each person takes their turn, I'll just move it. And then I can just look at it and be like, oh, that person hasn't gone yet. Or this person hasn't gone yet. Or I haven't gone yet. And it would help me keep track better. I'll have to devise something like that for next time. Some like little colored papers I can keep on my desk or something. Or maybe like a piece from a board game. Maybe I have a chess set around. Who wants to be the pawn?
You can... You can have duplicates of our tokens.
Nah, it's I don't want it on the virtual table. I want it on my physical table in real life.
Oh.
That way I can be looking at one spot on the table and also looking at a website and then also having like my little initiative counter on my table here. I could probably do it with paper and a pad and a pen and just make like a little grid, put names on it. Me.
That's a way to do it.
Apophis. Isidore. Modrus. I got some lined paper here. I'll just draw a grid and I can check people off. Alright, where did we leave off?
In the middle of my turn, I just ran over to this hallway here and looked down it.
Yeah. Cool, so I can move this. What you see before you, there are 4 pillars, large pillars, and then a long hall, but it's got a pipe running through it, leaking fluid into this long, round tunnel. It's got a bit of a slope, and all of the fluid coming out of these side pipes is channeled down through this larger pipe.
Okay.
So you could go that way, but you'd be sliding.
So the next thing I'm going to do is go as far as you'll let me in this direction.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. That would be like you were in this zone, you went one zone this way, you went one zone this way. This would be another zone over here.
Okay.
Alright. Apophis is gone.
Now I think it's the enemy's turn.
Yeah.
So
Gandros
Modris and
gets-
Isidore had both gone that previous turn.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
last thing I said to Gandros was protect the girl, so Gandros can go on that turn as well.
Yeah, Gandros is going to slip back in here and hang out with Rowana. He didn't really want to get involved in combat. He just seemed like you needed some help. He thought it seemed like you needed some help. All right, so let's see. Each of these 3 cult leaders is going to attack your toughened skeleton as before, stabbing with all their might. They raise their daggers high into the air. The first one misses. The second one
Oh no.
misses. The third one misses. Damn, we should have spent more time practicing our knife work and less time practicing our sorcery. Alright, this cult leader here is going to turn to Apophis, and he's going to point his finger and say, "You do not understand!" And he hurls his threaten upon you. Oh no. He gets a
Yeah.
complication. Due to his wounds and his trauma, he has a coughing fit. Here, I'll give him a point of vigor damage for the coughing fit. Alright. That's all of my cultists. What have you guys got? What do you do?
Okay. I'm gonna run here
Alright, you run over to a door.
and open the door.
You open the door, revealing a room. What you see beyond is quite interesting. There is a table, and on that table is a glowing gemstone.
Okay.
There's
I'm
also
going-
4 doors. I should mention the 4 doors.
I'm gonna run over here and open this door.
Alright. You open a door, and in this room... Let's see, how many zones is that? You went 1 zone, 2 zone. Okay. You see a man sleeping on a bed in a room that is cluttered with belongings. A table with various papers and parchments, writing implements, bags of supplies.
Yep, okay. Then on my next turn, I'm gonna slit his throat.
Alright.
I walk up to this man and I kill him.
A whack.
Alright. You slosh through the waters.
That is also a momentum.
Alright, cool.
That is 5.
5 damage. Alright, you take his head, and his body crumples into the water. The
And I
rising
pull
water.
the lever.
Ah, you're trying to
The
pull the
other way.
lever, but it seems really hard. Roll an athletics test.
Oh. What is not good? That is 2 successes.
Yeah, that was just enough. Alright, you pull with all of your might. It seems like you're pulling against the pressure of a tremendous flow of water, but eventually you seal whatever bracket or valve or whatever was opened by that lever. And even though the water has risen to about knee high, it has stopped rising now.
All right. That solves that problem.
Okay. Well, you're still trapped in a room. That might be a problem
Yeah.
too.
I'm assuming that block is just like a block.
Yeah, it's like
and
a
it's not connected to anything.
big stone block that dropped down behind you. It sounded heavy.
Have to find a way to pull it.
I can't wait for you to try to figure this one out. I love my little trap rooms. There is a way out of this room if you can figure it out. All right, Isidore, what do you do?
I'm gonna surround these bitches with fire.
And more fire.
Hopefully, this goes well.
Is that 2 successes with a ranged attack? Close range?
Yes.
Okay.
3 success.
No, it's 2.
2 successes. 2 successes would be enough. I'm going to use a reaction to try to jump out of the way.
Wait, you're
Right
an
here.
archer, but you don't have a focus in ranged?
Yeah, wait, wrong.
What?
Hold on.
You don't have a focus in range?
You have a 3 in range for your
I have
focus.
3 focus in range.
Yeah, no, that is
That
is
was-
That is
3
the 2
success.
successes.
It's
That
3
is the 2
success because you rolled a 1.
If
Oh,
he's
wait
got
a
3
second.
successes, I'm not going to do that. All right, so roll 3
Well, that
combat dice for
explains
the
a lot
fire.
of things.
3 combat dice.
Yes, sir.
And if you roll those effects, it could be really good.
Ooh.
Well, there goes one expect.
Were you aiming at the closest one here?
Yeah.
Okay, you throw fire at him. Boosh. He didn't get out of the way. You did 3 points of damage. Minus 3 vigor. All right.
And it affects this guy too.
And the effect spreads to anybody close. So it's going to affect the toughened skeleton and the cult leader, and then the effect causes it to spread to one person outside of that immediate range, which would go to him as well. So it's really going to hit all of them.
Great.
So let's see. He had 3. Now he's at 6. He's the worst. The worst wounded by the fire. And the toughened skeleton. Is he going to try to avoid it?
Nah.
Alright. So then he takes the 3 burning damage as well. Pretty sure being on fire can't be resisted by armor.
I would assume so.
You could have him spend his bonus action on his turn to put it out.
Okay.
Alright. Thinking. What to do, what to do. Gandros is going to move into the room. Then he's going to move to here.
What are you doing, Gandros? I told you to protect the girl.
Okay. This cult leader is going to break from here, and he's going to go here. And he's going to go here. These 2 cult leaders, they're going to do a... Let's see.
You're turning off.
They're going to move to surround Isidore here.
You can try, motherfuckers.
I doubt
Alright.
they'll hit you.
I'm
Apophis,
gonna die.
do you want your skeleton to take a reaction?
To what? What is he reacting to?
One of the ghosts moved away from him. He probably can't hit, so
Oh, no.
I'm not going to bother. Okay, so the cult leaders move over here, and then each of them is going to try to give Isidore a little stabby stab. So Isidore, the first cult leader comes at you from the left, and he drives his blade towards your kidney. And he misses, and he drops his dagger. And then the other one,
For flavor, I whack him in the head, even
Yeah.
though I can't.
the other one goes after your other side and misses.
Man, they're bad.
All right. This one's gonna move into this zone and then into this zone. All right. Followed into the room. The cult leader reaches his arm out towards you, his ghostly apparition form floating towards you as quickly as it can float.
Wait. He just moved to
He
his
did.
own.
That's as far as he can get. And he's calling out to you. He's saying, "You must not!" But he can't use a threaten on you this turn because he moved twice. So that's me. Back to you guys.
Okay, so I am going to come over here and slit this guy's throat.
All right. He's asleep and puts up no resistance. As the life leaves his body, the cult leader that was following you collapses, grabbing at his neck, and fades away. Whoosh.
That's what I thought.
All right, let's look at this stone. Huh.
You investigate the stone. It looks quite heavy, maybe several tons.
Now it's fully blocking
Yes.
the doorway, and water's not getting up.
It fully blocks, creating a tight seal.
I'm not gonna be able to pull this, am I?
You could try.
I
But
don't
there's
think I'll be
no
able to get a purchase on it.
no handholds on this side.
Yeah.
And it's weirdly shaped, so if you push it, it's just going to wedge in there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait here. Well, actually, I'm gonna check his body.
You check the body. Any of these cultists is going to have cultist robes and a curved cultist knife.
Do you got any orbs on him?
He has 2 orbs. I think this is the other one that threw one of the orbs. So he's
Yeah.
got 2 left.
He has 2 fire orbs.
Yes.
All right, good to know.
I think you picked up the green orbs too, right? Those are actually acid orbs.
Okay.
So you've got some fire orbs now and some acid orbs.
I had 2 acid or 3 acid.
It was 3 of the acid and 2 of the fire, I think.
Now, I want to know, how do they construct the glass around the acid?
Glass is actually resistant to acid completely.
They probably
No,
pour it
yeah,
in and block it up.
But how do they make the glass go all the way around it?
Well,
Fire.
They do like a glass blowing thing, and then it's got an opening where the
Yeah.
air goes
Oh,
in.
it's not an opening. Oh, okay. Okay, they're not just glass orbs.
No, they seal up the opening, so it'll be like a sealed ball. But initially,
Yeah.
when they're filling it, it does have an opening.
Sorry, I was just wondering if it was an orb, how they did that. Like,
Yeah, no,
like,
it's,
not even like I don't believe you, but like, now how did they do that? I bet there's some way to do that.
it's just simple glass blowing, honestly.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
Anyway,
All right.
continue. Isidore.
Hi. I'm going to escape these motherfuckers. Bye. I don't know where to go, by the way.
Run towards me. I
That's
require
towards
assistance.
you.
On my turn also, my toughened skeleton moves over here to protect Rwana.
Does he put out the fire?
You don't
Yeah,
have
put-
psychic control over it, so you have to shout commands at it.
I shout that command then.
Nah, he's too far away.
What?
I mean, that is a pretty big distance for the skeleton to go. The voice to go.
I'm gonna withdraw.
Alright.
Come here.
You do a withdraw. You back up towards the tunnel with the flowing water in it.
Yeah.
All right. You're standing over there next to a weird-looking altar
Near the nice warm fire.
near the nice
Nice.
warm fire.
Did you take a sausage with you?
Can I try? Can I try to make a lower on the altar?
You want to do a lore test on the altar? Sure.
Yeah.
You should stop Gandros.
I don't know what he's doing, and I'm not paying attention to him.
He's making an end run for the stone.
What stone?
this stone.
Metagaming.
No, my
Well, if
character
I
knows this.
if I notice that, I'm gonna do it.
All
I'm
you.
faster than him.
I mean, Gandros is walking into the room, but I mean, is that out of the ordinary? He's been traveling with you.
Yeah, no.
He
I
came in
mean-
and helped with the fire earlier.
I don't know. I don't know what the rest of my team is. To be absolutely honest.
You heard Buffalo shouting, "Can someone get this rock for me?"
I'm gonna spend one of the momentum for lore that we have. So
Oh, that's right. That's what those
So
were
that's
for.
that. And well, I'll pay attention to the specifics of scribe when we're done with that.
Ooh.
I think I don't know how many successes those are. Those
Uh,
are 3 successes.
All right. You generate 1 momentum.
Hey.
Looking at the altar, you can see that it's got a relief that goes around the outside of the altar. As you circle around to the back, you're able to see the rest of it. It seems to depict, like, you can't quite tell where the beginning and the end are, but it seems to, as it encircles, the image depicts a variety of things. You see pictures of lizard men and snake men fighting each other, and then you see some people running away with a shiny thing, and there's a
shiny.
there's a symbol of Mitra that you recognize.
In the shiny thing?
Like on the altar.
Okay. Can I touch it?
Yeah. It's just an
I
altar.
touch
It's
it.
made of stone.
Okay. Well, that's my turn.
Okay. So now it's back to me, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, this cult leader sees Gandros moving across the room, and he's gonna go 1, 2. He's gonna go like 1 zone with his minor action, and then he's gonna try to stab Gandros.
You can even stab him.
He misses.
Wait, was
Uh,
that the one that dropped his dagger?
No, the one that drops his dagger is this one. He spends his minor action picking up his dagger, and then he spends his action moving over towards Gandros as well. Alright, so
And the one over there?
this one, he's going to move here and then here. So he gets into the room, and he looks around, and he's looking for Apophis, and he thinks that maybe he went into that open door over there, so he turns that way and snarls, "Stop!" Okay, Gandros is going to scamper away, so he goes 1, 2. I'm going to use Tudu to attempt 2 reaction stabs on Gandros. The first ghost misses. The second ghost misses. Gandros chuckles and strolls away. So, let's see. He was there, he went here, he went here. He gets to the doorway. So, Gandros stands in the doorway looking in. His eyes alight as he sees the gem.
He's
You-
still in this zone, though.
And he rubs his hands together. Yeah, he's at the edge of that zone.
Okay, is it my turn?
Is he not making like an aggressive run towards it?
No, he's just standing in the doorway.
Well,
Okay, so player turn. Who goes first?
I will go first. And I am going to run out here and shout, "Tell me the secrets of the stone or die!"
Gandros simply smiles at you.
No, I'm not talking to Gandros.
Oh, you're talking to the cult leader, huh?
Yeah.
And the cult leader says, "The stone! It must not leave!"
Why?
Nah, he doesn't have time to explain. No time to explain.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to spend the rest of my turn moving here, ready to stop anybody who comes for that stone.
Mm.
What? I have a question. What do I recognize?
So hang on. So it was a move and then a ready action, right? So you're going to use your action to engage with anybody moving towards the stone. With like a grapple or what?
With a steely glare.
All right. So if somebody makes a move for the stone, you're going to steely glare them. Got it.
Yes.
All right.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Where do I recognize the symbol of Mitra in the altar?
Well, Mitra just is a Jesus-like figure. You just recognize the symbol of Mitra displayed prominently on the altar.
Is it like protecting the stone, or one of the two groups of people?
It's a prominent feature of the artwork on the stone altar.
Well, that's
Not helpful.
That's awfully odd. I'm gonna do something before you try to escape this place, if I can. And I'm gonna come here and shout out, "What master do you serve?" to the ghosts. Mitra or Seth?
The ghosts will say, "Praise Mitra."
And at that moment, I'm gonna use the rest of my. Can I still move? I don't know.
Yeah, you're still in the same zone. You haven't really gone far yet.
I'm gonna make a full sprint towards Apophis. I guess I just reached like this place.
All right. You run towards Gandros. The doorway.
I examined the room continuously.
You want to make an observation test? See what you see. Roll it.
Nope. I see nothing.
No successes, not one.
Nope. I have a
Ouch.
7 in observation.
It's really dark in here, and the torch isn't in this room.
Yep.
It's gonna make things pretty hard to spot things. I guess you were tracking that dude by his splashing noises.
Well, I saw him before he put the block in front of him there, closing up all the light.
Let's see. These guys can move here and then move here. The ghosts close the distance with you, getting into melee with Isidore to try to stop him. That was double move. I've got this ghost left. Alright. So this ghost is going to turn and see Gandros, and he's going to shout, "No!" And he rushes at Gandros and tries to stab him.
I hope he actually stabs him then.
Yeah.
Fail.
No.
Gandros is the only hope we have of figuring out what this fucking stone does.
I'm gonna try to tackle him. Don't worry.
No, don't tackle him. Save him. Protect him.
Okay. It's
This is what I
Gandros'
said,
turn.
don't worry.
Gandros
gonna
is
try to
going
tackle
to push past the ghost. The ghost shouts, "No!" I'll use a doom to make a reaction attack. Pew pew. He gets 2 successes. Gandros continues walking. The dagger stabs into Gandros' back, dealing 3 damage. Gandros just smiles and walks forward pleasantly.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah, so no, I trigger.
All right, you trigger.
I say, don't go near the stone.
All right, roll it.
Success
He does not hear you.
and a complication.
A success and a complication. I'll generate a little bit of doom with that, because I'm out. Okay. He totally ignores your shout. He steps right up to the table and clutches the glowing gem in his hand. Gandros turns and holds the gem aloft, and it shines and sparkles in his eyes. Gandros is going to clutch it in his hand and say, "It's been so long." All right. He seems quite happy. Nothing happens.
Is it our turn?
It is your turn.
I'm gonna make a full sprint for Gandros and try to tackle him.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a good time to tackle him.
I don't care if I take opportunity attacks.
Make an attack.
With melee, right?
Yep.
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna spend my fortune. I don't have fortune. I'll give you one doom. I don't fucking care.
We have momentum.
We have momentum. I'm gonna spend one momentum.
Okay.
With your permission of office. Can I spend one momentum? Hello? Hello?
He stepped away. That means yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Three.
I got my mouth pizza right now.
No, that's one success.
Mm. And a complication, right?
And a complication.
All right. You rush at Gandros, and he sidesteps your attempted tackle. He's still got the same weird smile on his face. What does Apophis do?
I say to Apophis, stop him. This is this is Mitra simple. Not understanding anything of what's happening right now.
I'm gonna run over here, throw this door open.
Okay.
He's having a real hard time selecting that cultist for some reason.
And then, can I move over here and slit his throat with the same action?
From where you were at, it's like one move to get into the room and action to slit his throat, so that's fine, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you slit the throat of another sleeping priest, and this cultist out here disappears. Whoosh. This room, unlike the others, or unlike the other that you saw, is not cluttered. This room seems very neat and tidy, and has a second bed in it.
Gotcha.
Modris.
More examination.
Aye. In the dark, it's a D3 to see anything.
Nope.
Did you want to spend a fortune? Give yourself a
Nah.
chance?
No, I have a pretty poor score for observation, anyways.
No. You might be in there a while. I swear, there's a way out.
You have to swim.
Okay.
Is that the way out? Do I have to swim?
This cult leader is going to rush forward. This cult leader is going to use 2 actions to rush forward. This one that only used 1 action to move is going to make an attack against Gandros. He only gets 1 success and he misses. Gandros is just laughing. He says, "Oh, it's far too late for that." Gandros is chuckling, and he's also growing horns, and he's about 7 feet tall now.
Oh,
God fucking damn it.
Okay. All right. I'm done. What do you guys do?
I'm going to use my whip, which is a range attack, and I'm gonna try to grapple. I'm gonna try to. I don't know if I can do this. Can I try to flick with the whip the gem of his hand?
If you spend, I think it's like 2 momentum on a called shot, you can.
I'm gonna give you 2 doom. I don't care.
All right. You try to whip it out of his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Now it's not the time for this. It's 2 successes.
2 successes. Well, I think 2 is enough to hit. He's going
No.
to.
No, that's not 2 successes.
It's not.
It's not 2 successes.
No, you got it. Okay.
Ooh.
So, what are you doing? What is Apophis's next move?
Gonna die.
We're all gonna die. Always. Only 10.
All right, he moves out into the room.
I am going to try and steely glare Grandros.
Okay. Gandros isn't looking much like himself anymore. He's quite large, and he's got some big-ass horns. He's still got the Gandros clothing on, though, but it barely fits anymore.
2 successes.
2 successes. Steely Glare. All right, Gandros is going to resist.
Five dice.
5 dice. He gets 5 successes. Your Steely
5.
Glare does not seem to affect him. Not in the least bit. This is sort of secret information, but the gem itself is giving him 3 bonus dice.
Okay.
All right. So, Modris, what do you do? Modris, trapped in the room of the swirling waters.
Hmm. 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 I'm going to try and see if we can find some purchase on the rock to pull it.
Okay. You try to pull the rock. Roll an athletics test.
It's 2 successes.
All right. You give it your best shot, and it does not budge. Not even a little bit.
Hmm.
Either this is too heavy, or its shape is like up into the ceiling, like a fitted piece of stone. So it doesn't have like the ability to move anywhere but up and down. You can get your fingertips under it, but lifting it is way harder than a 2. Way harder than a 2.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put a fortune and maybe a momentum into it, you might have a chance. But if you lift it up, what do you do then? Can you brace it with something?
Don't have anything.
That might not be the way to go then.
Nothing I know of in the room to brace it. All there is water. And a body. But that's going to be limp.
All right. Well, that was your turn trying to figure out a way out of the room. Okay. All right. Gandros is quite big now. He's going to swat this cult leader next to him. Look at that. All right, he gets 2 successes.
How's he doing damage? How did he do that?
He hits the cult leader. 1, 2, 3,
He's
4,
magical.
5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so he would do 8 damage, but it's an astral body, so it reduces it by 2. He still takes 6. He had 6. The cult leader is literally squashed flat into the floor by the ever-growing Gandros, who is quite large now. And Gandros is laughing and saying, "Ah, the power!" The remaining cultist screams, "No!" and he swings his weapon with all his might. No good. No luck on that one. Okay, back to you guys. What do you do?
Do I know where Modros went?
No, Modus is gone. He might need help.
Okay. I'll go first. I'm going to spend a momentum. No, I'm not. I'm going to spend a fortune. Maybe. Maybe. Delete. Okay, I can't delete.
Let me give everybody promotions again. Give me a moment. Alright, now you'll be able to delete once again.
Okay. I spend a fortune to roll 3 dice. 3 successes to enslave Gandros.
3 successes to enslave Gandros. Gandros only got 2 successes. You successfully stagger him. He recoils from your magical assault.
Okay, now I am going to spend 1 momentum to give him a command.
Do you have a momentum?
I just took it out of the pot and put it in the chest.
Oh, I see.
And the command I'm going to give him is give Isidore the stone.
Hang on. All right, so your action was to hit him with enslave. So it's like two momentum to do another action. Did you buy that
No,
with
it's not
Doom?
another action. It's 1 momentum to do the other thing for the spell.
Ah.
So
Okay.
the whole thing is an action.
Well, with 1 momentum, you can bid a creature to continue for a turn, keep fighting, or don't run away.
No. I have to spend new momentum now on what I'm going to do with it. That 1 momentum was not the spell. The spell still needs to be rolled a second time.
Okay.
But I need to know my difficulty.
Two. So it says to do the secondary thing, you have to immediately spend 2 momentum or Doom for a swift action, and then it's a D2 sorcery versus the strong will target's discipline D2.
It's 2 momentum?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Doom.
Then I will give you a Doom. And then I will immediately give you 2 more Doom because I think this is an important roll.
All right.
That is 4 successes.
Wow, 4 successes. All right. Well, that
And
might be tough.
I commanded him to give the stone to Isidore.
What have we got here?
A complication, at least.
Let's see.
Now, you're not resisting the enslave, are you? Because you've already done that and failed.
I'm just
I
gonna
was-
spend Doom to make him immune to it.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Fuck you. God damn it.
He's kind of special.
But he's already failed the enslave roll. I mean,
It's just because you can't enslave a god. It just can't. It does not work. But at least I spent a Doom.
okay.
All right. Well, Gandros, he's going to laugh at you all. Pitiful mortals, I am unbeatable. Give your soul to me, or begone. All right. Gandros proclaims himself to be Ahriman the Destroyer. You may sell your soul to Ahriman the Destroyer or leave. Keep in mind, selling your soul to Ahriman the Destroyer is incredibly bad. The fact that Ahriman the Destroyer exists is incredibly bad.
Yeah, no, I got that.
However, you could be in his good graces if you immediately swear allegiance to him and bow. But he also, he's going to let you run away if you wish, as a reward for helping him get the gem. So you've got options: run away and live, or become his minions.
I don't want to leave Malrus here alone.
Well, you don't have to leave him. You could go find him.
I run.
You run away.
Bye.
Ahriman the Destroyer laughs.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find.
So, Ian, don't feel too bad about this. This is mostly, like, plot armor. Just think of it that way. Plot armor. You're not supposed to be able to defeat him. This is mostly for narrative. For story. For lore reasons.
Okay.
The boss was the ghosts. You guys defeated the ghosts. That's what matters.
We just fucked up. Is all that matters.
Now, you worship Set, so you don't want to serve Ahriman. He is the enemy of Set, so...
I should have grabbed the fucking stone.
Well, I mean... I would have plot armored that, too. There would have been some sort of force field.
Oh, come on.
Besides, this thing is like an artifact that's way too powerful for you guys to have yet. I mean, it would be like an endgame item. This is supposed to give you like a goal, like a big story arc. Like, this is the big bad of the world now, and it gives you some insight into where he came from and what he's about.
Well, it gives me and Isidore some insight again. We still have to figure out what Modris is doing.
I'm going to look for Modris.
All right, you look for Modris. You eventually find the side passage.
Can I open it?
Nah, it is not openable.
Hello?
Nah.
Hello?
Hello.
So eventually he's going to get bored in here, and he's going to look around, and eventually he would find that there is a pool, and you can swim in the pool, and it comes out here. I don't know how long that was going to take, but there's the exit.
Well,
I mean, I did ask if swimming was the option. You never answered.
we still haven't explored the entire place.
We need to run.
Why?
Alright. Since nobody took him up on his offer to sell their soul, Ahriman disappears. Poof.
We need to leave now.
Why?
Well, the threat's gone now.
We may have freed a god of destruction. Now let's go. And I just
I
sprint
don't think
for
that's the exit.
I don't know where the exit is. I'm going towards the exit.
Well, there are definitely a couple other rooms that were quite obvious to Apophis in that first room.
What about this one?
This is actually like a very small grate. You have to pry the grate off, and it goes into a low, narrow tunnel where you have to basically crawl, and it goes all the way through a series of pipes. It doesn't really seem to go anywhere of interest, just a long, mucked series of sewer pipes
And this?
and drains.
What is this one over here? Nothing. And this one, that's just like kind of nothing over here.
A descending pipe. Not much to find here.
I walk in here.
All right. You find a room with a couple of big bare rugs and several bookcases.
Mm-hmm. No people?
Well,
Not even
there's a dead body in the bed.
Okay, next room.
He died when he got squashed. Next
Wait,
room also has a dead body.
I thought he was still alive. I thought there was this one.
Okay. Yeah, there's wrong one. There is one cultist remaining in there.
I shake him awake.
Okay. The cultist awakes. Traumatized.
What have you done?
What have you done? Invader, you've released the devil.
How do we stop it?
He begins to weep and he says, keeping the gem away from him was the only way.
And these were your defenses?
4 Nemesis level sorcerers were considered pretty good defenses.
They couldn't hit for shit.
Yeah, that's true. Combat wasn't their forte.
I think the only people who hit me were the cultists.
These guys are interesting. They have 2 spells, right? Their first spell is Favor of the Gods, which prepares another spell. The other spell they've got prepared is the Astral Journey or Astral Voyage, whatever it is, and it's triggered by their god at the right time. So they don't even use magic, but when they hear the call of the horn, they are immediately ripped out of their bodies into spirit form to do battle with the enemies of Mitra. And it gives them
If they
pretty.
do that, they should at least be able to hit.
And it gives them some pretty intense physical defenses. They're very hard to injure. So against normal opponents, they probably would win, but against a bunch of very, very strong adventurers like yourselves, you managed to overcome.
I'm just going to be searching this room.
How
This messy room.
How was the stone removed from its last possessor?
Murder. It was in the possession of a merchant, and the merchant was killed and the stone was taken. He'll explain to you that this is a secret sect of Mitra worshippers. It is forbidden to practice sorcery in the cult of Mitra, so they are considered outcasts, but they considered it a necessary evil to practice sorcery in preparation of battling sorcerous enemies in order to protect the stone. They hadn't foreseen that Ahriman would bring such powerful allies to aid him in claiming the stone.
More like unwilling allies.
Yeah. Against regular minion-level enemies, these guys would have crushed them, but against you, they could not defeat you.
Anyways, I'm gonna be searching this room.
You guys want some treasures?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be searching the room.
All right, treasures.
I want to go warn all of the people that are out there. For
Yeah,
sure.
find nothing. There's just a bunch of
Oh,
trash.
don't overreact, Isidore. All we did was release a god of destruction.
Yeah, and give him the power of Mitra. Wow.
No, he doesn't have the power of
Crybaby.
Mitra. The Mitra worshippers were trying to keep the heart of Ahriman away from him. It kept him.
That's his heart. That is amazing.
It kept him trapped in a mortal body. He was technically immortal. He couldn't be killed or injured, but he also like didn't have the
So
powers
we
of
could
a
have
god.
just left him with the Pictish people and we'd be fine.
He didn't
Yeah.
have the powers of a god, but he couldn't be killed. But now he's got the stones. Now he has the powers
Man,
of
the
a god
Pictish
again.
would have had a field day with him.
Well, they wouldn't be able to carve his flesh. They wouldn't have been able to eat him or injure him in any way. They probably would have treated him like a god after a while.
I
Yeah,
think
let's just-
Apophis is trying to get inside here.
Yeah.
Something tells me.
All right, you're gonna find 12 sorceress offerings.
I inside this motherfucker and I got nothing because I got 2 fucking failures.
Hey, they can't all be winners. You just grab those right away. Nobody else needs these, right?
Who needs sorceress offerings other than me?
Mm-hmm. I got the orbs.
I need a sword.
Tiny and small statue. Oh, what?
I need a sword.
I
Are
have
you
a
sure
sword.
about that?
I have a sword you can have.
I need something to defend myself in melee. And a hunter's knife is not good. Because someone made me lose my fucking antler. Fucking deer antler knife.
I didn't.
No, I'm talking to the DM.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Look at my look on my weapons.
Yeah.
I've got sword reach 2, one-handed. Blah 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 blah. It's yours.
Okay. Oh my god.
$12 knives, 12 robes.
You can erase it.
Okay.
Okay. That's all the treasure that you find. You find a variety of gems. You find various pouches filled with strange powders. If only your herbalist was here, he could identify a lot of these.
I am pondering my orbs.
Reach 2.
You find a couple of valuable statues.
Ooh, money.
Statues of Mitra. Maybe the Mitra temple would like those.
Yeah.
Oh, now what?
All
Hang
right.
on, I'm updating. The sheet.
12 knives, 12 robes. Lotus powder, lotus powder, lotus powder.
Not to specify yellow, green, gray.
Patch
Stygian black.
Stygian black lotus poison.
And lotus pollen. Ooh. The Stygian black lotus is good.
All right. The priest of Mitra is going to ask if you were tricked into doing
think
such
that
a
is
horrible
obvious.
thing.
Yes. Yes, we were.
Do you wish to atone for what you've done and make good by yeah, how would you actually solve this problem? Do you wish to serve Mitra and help to vanquish Ahriman? Will you join us in the efforts to retake the stone?
Yes, how do I do that?
All right. Well, now we're all on the same side. The wounded
Hooray.
cultist He's going to come out here and he's going to open a secret door.
And it only took killing all his friends.
It only took us liberating a god and killing all of the people in this temple.
Alright, he opens a secret vault, and it's hidden behind a panel in the wall. And it goes into a bit of a closet. And in the back of this closet, there's a scroll. He'll hand the scroll to you. The
Ooh,
scroll is
one
a
scroll.
scroll of lore which describes a great war of the gods in the
God.
ancient past, where Ahriman and Set battled each other. And it tells the tale of how in the ensuing years after the great battle, when Ahriman was defeated, how the cult of Mitra smuggled away the heart of Ahriman and hid it far, far away from the great cities of the Acheron Empire, hidden away where none would find it.
So if we give the heart to the cult of Set, they'll be able to protect it better. I'm guessing.
Well,
Because
it
they
is,
actually have the whole backing of the cult to do so.
He snarls at you. No! The cult of Set must not possess the stone. It's far too powerful a sorcerous artifact.
And we throw it in a volcano?
Yes, that would be well to throw it into a volcano. The cursed thing. It cannot be destroyed. We have tried.
Where's the nearest volcano, actually?
Far, 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 far to the northeast.
Okay.
Alright, so that scroll describes the history of how the Mitra cult got the heart of Ahriman and how they smuggled it here. The scroll also contains information about getting the stone away from Ahriman. However, it's a difficult process. You would have to defeat Ahriman's physical body and then cast the sorcery that is in the scroll. A sorcery that the priests of Mitra would never cast because it is an evil sorcery only practiced by the serpent men of Set.
Wait, say that again. Sorry.
So, the god Set originally defeated Ahriman and has the power to strip him of his godhood. And so here, contained within this scroll, is reference to a sorcery that the serpent men of Set used against Ahriman. The Mitra cult would never use this sorcery because it is, like, forbidden and evil. But you don't have any such problem with it, so...
Right. Can I keep this scroll?
Yes, he's giving it to you because, like, he's dying. He slumps to the ground, and he coughs up blood, and he says, I will not live long. I have given my entire soul to protecting the stone. It relies on you now. Atone for your sin, or the world is doomed. And he collapses.
That's unfortunate. Now let's get out.
I loot him.
I think we already got the loot from him technically with the whole card.
Yeah, he's got a curved dagger and some robes.
I'm looking for the exit.
Yeah, I'm just going to go back to the entrance.
All those other treasures are scattered around. It does take quite a bit of searching to find them in all the different rooms. You might be interested in the library as well. It contains quite a bit of books and stuff. You're welcome to take any of the
There's
books
a
if you want.
library?
Yeah, there's 3 bookshelves of books
No.
here in this room.
What kind of books?
Many of them are religious texts about the cult of Mitra. A couple of them are on sorceries. You'd probably be interested on the books on sorceries that describe the astral spell and the favor of the gods spell.
Okay, I'll take those. Sorceress book or
Call it like a holy text of Mitra that describes astral travel and the favor of the gods. However, if you ask a priest of Mitra, they'll tell you sorcery is forbidden and none of them practice it.
Yeah, of course. Okay, cool.
All right. Well, now you've encountered the secret mystery cult of Mitra and the secret mystery cult of Set. What
I
god?
will get Rowana
What god should I throw at you next? Jebel Sag? That'd be fun.
and my skeletal warrior.
I can't believe your skeletal warrior survived the fight. He's a tough bastard. A toughened bastard, you might say.
Yep. Okay. I'm ready to go.
Okay. When you exit from the ruins, you'll find that you're surrounded by stoic barbarians.
Whoop.
Blue-eyed, brown-haired barbarians wearing fur clothing that barely covers them in the chilly weather.
When we get out?
They're rippling with muscles and wielding iron weapons. And they say, "Outsiders! What are you doing here?" They say with their thick Gaelic accents.
We were exploring the cavern.
Disgusting! You'll need a shower! Take a dunk in the lake before you come anywhere near us.
I agree. I do need a shower.
And why would we go near you?
Why would anybody go in that filthy hole? Many of them are speaking Cimmerian, and they will have a big laugh at all the stinky adventurers that just came piling out of what is essentially a sewer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why
So,
would we ever...
I am going to
Go
Joey jump in
near
the
you.
lake.
I'm
So
just gonna ask...
for the
I'm
night,
just gonna ask
it's kind of late, isn't it?
Yeah, you could if you want. I had some RP stuff with the Cimmerians. There's actually a big thing going on here in Cimmeria at this time of year.
My sleeping pills have kicked in a little early, and I'm just tired.
Oh, I understand. No, that's fair. Are you guys cool with calling it here? It's a good endpoint. You did finish the dungeon, and
Sure.
Yeah.
okay. But for next week, I do have some stuff planned involving the Cimmerians. You guys are actually very close to where Conan the Barbarian himself was born. So this is the homeland of Conan, and his people have a festival that's about to happen. And so you'll have an opportunity to hang out with the Cimmerians and experience Cimmerian culture a little bit next week.
I want
Yeah.
to warn the people that we may have released a god of destruction.
They
No,
might they might not appreciate that.
Yeah. It's not something.
I would not say it with that tone. I would say, well, you know, we were
Hey,
looking for this thing in the north, and we just so happened to be in the temple of the cultists of Mistra.
Hey.
And this guy was trying to steal a gem. We
You
didn't
got
know what to
tricked by an
do.
evil wizard. It happens. It's very common in this day and age in the Conan world. You really have to watch out for those evil wizards. They will pull a fast one on you almost every time.
Well, I knew he was an evil wizard.
I love that you were plotting to kill him, and the whole time I'm just laughing to myself. You can't kill a god. He's physically immune to damage.
I was trying to tackle him.
I was really hoping you were going to just, like, slit his throat or something, and he was going to go, ah, and pretend to die, and you were just going to, like, leave, and he was going to, like, get up and continue to do his things after that. I had all sorts of things planned for what happened, but it played out the way it played out.
Yep.
I did know I had to get him across that room to the gem, or otherwise you were probably going to try to claim it yourself, and then I'd have a real hard time getting it from you.
Yep.
Which is why I would have had to probably plot armor it and put a little shield on it.
Yep. I
It-
gotcha.
It does give you ridiculous defenses against sorcery. Like, the 3 bonus dice is nuts. And it has some other features, too. It lets you cast a couple of spells with a reduced casting cost and bonus momentum. So it's a real nice artifact. It's powerful.
I still think that enslave should have worked.
You could be right. I mean, I'm fine with it working on minions, like, no problem.
He got 3 bonus dice against it. Like, if he fails that, you fail. You give over the stone.
Yeah, it is in the book though. Like the DM can just spend doom to just choose to succeed at things.
Yeah, no, I understand.
I don't do it generally because it does feel pretty cheap.
Yep. I'm
In
not
that
fighting.
case, so it makes sense. No.
I'm not fighting it. It makes sense. I just, I wish that enslave spell had worked. I really do.
I would have. You know what I would have done? I would have booked it.
Man, what the hell is going on outside my house? It's like there's searchlights, but it's out on the river.
The fuck?
Maybe they're looking
Middle
for
of
a
the river, maybe.
You know, a surprising number of people drown, and they have to send out people to recover the bodies, and that's what it looks like. It looks like they've got searchlights and they're looking for something.
What the fuck?
Man.
That, or it's a low-flying UFO. Maybe I should take pictures. I could sell them to the Inquirer or something. Yeah. Good night. Good night. I don't mean to hold you.
Man, if that enslave would have worked, I would have just booked it.
Boy, how
How
broken would that
and
be?
why?
Enslave a god, claim his artifact, gain all of its powers. That would.
If he's just recovering his powers, just remember you can actually enslave him.
I just figured because he's a god, he's just immune to enslave. Enslave works
Fair
on
enough.
humans, but not gods.
Makes sense.
I mean, is he a little bitch of a god?
It doesn't feel like much of a stretch. No,
Dang.
Ahriman is such a bad god that the other bad gods fight him. They were like, no, you're too evil. We're evil, but you're too evil. So they got rid of him.
Maybe we aren't that evil. Maybe I don't want to be evil if you exist.
I think in
It's like,
I think in
what's
the
your-
in the book they attribute this Ahriman character to every devil. The Christian devil, like every major religion. They say Ahriman is it. He is the big bad.
He
But-
makes that look like a good god.
Yes, he does make Set look like a good god. At
he
least
made Sid look good for like a half a second for
at,
me.
at least Set cares about the Snake Man. Ahriman doesn't even give a shit about his own lizard man.
At least Hitler cared about the Nazis.
Ahriman let his entire lizard man species get extincted in war and did not care.
It was the Hitler. At least Hitler cared about Nazis.
I was also curious whether any of you would take him up on the Sell Your Soul. That would have been interesting.
No.
No. Maybe with a different character I would, but no.
That would be considered a free, like you'd actually like learn a sorcery from that. It's a part of the sorcery path. So then you'd be a
mean, if it-
magic user,
I would have said, I'm still looking for the right god. I'm not sure you're it.
right? Yeah, there's better ones.
Maybe we should just stay the acquaintance. I don't feel it.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, if I see you, I'm not going to mess with you. I'm just
I
going
mean-
to move on my way.
This is the first job. We didn't talk that much. Like there's
Yeah.
there's no chemistry. Like I don't know.
Just casually talking to the most evil god that way.
Just I hope you find the one that actually takes you up to be part of your minion thing. But I'm not really ready for commitment right now.
That was fun. I've been planning that for a couple weeks now.
We did take a long time to get here.
That little thing with him. It started with him in the cage. Like it goes all the way back to then. Like
I'm
right,
assuming we're going to be stopping by a town next week.
right. Well, Cimmeria.
Did we get any XP?
There's Cimmerians. Yeah. When you complete a game, you get 350 experience points.
All right, I'm going to have over 1,000 experience to spend.
I did not know that in the table, so I'm gonna need to be reminded that next week.
I still have it
You'll
open if you want to
probably
jump
remember.
back in and edit something.
You know what? Sure.
All right. While I have it open, if you want to pop in there. Yeah. Every week, 350 XP.
Man, I'm gonna be
And so I can
completely honest.
boost my
I
scores
come,
with XP?
I
Yeah.
literally just came
Okay,
from
I'm going
like a
to.
campaign that was like, well, if you die, you die,
If you mean
and
your
I
like
was
main ability scores, it's very expensive. It costs 100
How much?
times the number that you want. So if you're going for like 10, it costs 1,000 XP.
Oh, yeah, and I'm just going to be boosting up some numbers. If you maybe just get a. Let's see.
I should be boosting my resolve because I have like 7, and I don't know how to boost it naturally without having to spend XP.
Alright, so I'm going to boost my brawn by 4. So I could get a 20.
It
Or
only
no, I'm
goes to
gonna
14, and that
only
would
goes to
cost
14?
many thousands of XP. What are you talking about? What is your brawn currently?
My brawn is 13.
All right, so you need 1,400 XP to increase it once, and that would be the cap.
Mm.
Probably better to boost your lower stats or to focus
Yeah.
on focus. The cool thing about focus is the higher your focus is, the cheaper the talents in that tree will become.
Did you say 350?
I hope you can increase the focus more.
So you can increase the focus or the skill. You have to spend XP separately for each. And when you increase the focus, it decreases the cost of talents. But it doesn't increase the skill, so your target number wouldn't improve by improving focus. So it's
So
good to
if
do
I
both.
increase the skill. So attributes is 100 per times the number you want it to be.
If you look in the Conan RPG text chat, I just dropped that little image there. That's from the book. That tells you how to improve your stuff right there. So depending on what your expertise or focus is at currently, it shows you how much experience you need to spend to improve it.
Let me see. Oh, my parry's already at 5 anyways.
So if I want to up an
Up my
attribute.
coordination then, probably.
Hello?
Attribute improvement can be increased by 1 point by investing experience points equal to 100 times the new target characteristic. For example, raising brawn from 7 to 8 costs 800 experience points. They cannot be
Hello.
increased above 14, the maximum for human beings. Additionally, increasing an attribute by spending experience points does not grant the ancient bloodline talent.
Yeah, so I will not be able to increase my expertise with the parry, because that's already at 5, and my melee's already at 5.
Yeah, those are capped out. You wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
improve those. They're as good as they get.
Can you not level up an attribute?
You can. Yeah, it's
You
the second
can, it's
paragraph there.
Yeah,
Oh, the second one. Give me 1 second.
it's 100 times the number you want it to be.
Is everything good on the table? Can I save it again?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no rush. No rush if you're still doing stuff.
Yeah, I think I'm going to focus my coordination for the time being, then.
So we're going to go into a carousing period as soon as you go outside, because the Cimmerians are there and they're having a festival. So it's going to be like you've gone to town when you go out from the dungeon here. But it's not really a town, because the Cimmerians are kind of nomadic. They have like little houses here and there, but for the most part they roam around the hill country and the highlands.
I think it's kind of excessive, the amount of XP you need to, like, level up.
I know,
an
right?
attribute.
It ends up being like 3 weeks of playing to get the 1,050 XP it takes to level something.
Yeah.
It feels a little
So-
excessive.
However, you can get new stuff fairly cheaply, like talents you can pick up for 200. So you could,
Yeah.
if you feel like you haven't gotten anything new in a while, you could just pick up a cheap talent.
I could see if I'm getting. Yeah, I'll probably get a talent and then.
I do still need to get to be trained with the Bostonian art, Bostonian archers, so I can get that yet.
Yeah, and you need to find somebody who's good at repairing Basonian bows, because that thing was trashed.
Is there like essentially something similar to a broadsword but better?
Nah, broadsword is about as good as it gets. In the Conan universe, it's about the apex weapon.
Ah, okay. That's probably the best I'm going to be able to use.
It's got 5 dice and it's got parry. It's great.
Yeah. I wish there was something with 6 dice.
Well, there is. It's a magic weapon. It's not really magic, it's a special kind of metal, which has a reputation that is so gnarly that when people see the weapon, they act as if it's got the advantage. Which is like a weird RP way to explain that it's got an extra dice, but that's what it's got.
Where will
Uh,
I find that weapon?
I have to up my expertise to up the number of of the target number, right?
Your expertise is for the double.
Expertise and focus are separate, so you have to level each one
Yes.
separately.
Yeah.
But which one gets the target number?
Expertise increases your target number. Focus increases the chance that you're going to get a double success.
Great. So I'm gonna spend 600 XP for getting my +2 on melee. Melee. So I have 12 now.
I have to look at the talents to see if I want one at all.
Wait, did you go from 1 to 2?
I went from 0 to 2. I spent
Oh, I see. So
600.
you did 2 upgrades.
Yeah.
You went from 0 to 1 for 200 and from 1 to 2 for 400. Total cost 600.
I
Sweet.
need to go find the list for talents that I'd be able to use really.
There's a lot of really good talents in categories that you wouldn't expect. Like just looking in the book, I was quite impressed with some of the stuff that I normally would consider like
Is there a talent that lets me attack twice in one turn?
well, everybody can do that automatically, but it costs momentum.
Is there a talent that lets me do it without the momentum?
You could dual wield. You get a weapon in each hand,
I
and
think I'll be able to dual wield with a broadsword.
it decreases the cost for the second action by 1. So you still end up spending like 1 momentum or doom to make the second attack. And the difficulty on the second attack is higher.
Well, I think I'm done for oh, by the way, with Quiverful, I regain my range focus in quivers at the end of the combat.
Cool.
So I have 3.
Well, that's handy.
Yeah, no, I mean, if I didn't read that, I would have just been stuck with no arrows for like a week. Loads of ranger ammunition, while their arrows craft, blah, 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 blah. You gain 1 load per rank automatically.
What does might do?
I think that lets you pick things up that are heavy.
Okay.
They absolutely need the second edition of this game.
You're able to perform feats of strength that seem at odds with your physique due to a combination of training and expertise. On any test to lift or move an inanimate object, you may roll a number of bonus d20s equal to your ranks in might. So trying to squeeze, like Modris trying to squeeze his fingers under that giant, huge block, that would be a test of might. And it was a d4, so if you had the might thing, like and the bonus d20s, that would make it easier to pick up a giant block like that.
So, for additional ranks in a talent, do they cost more?
That's a good question. I don't recall ever seeing a rule that says that, so it probably costs the same. Might is a second tier thing, so it's like 400 XP, but I think it would just be 400 for each of the 3 ranks. So a total of 1200 would get you 3 levels of might, and that's 5 dice to pick something up, which is crazy. It means even the heaviest of heavy objects you have a chance of picking up every time.
Yeah.
Without any momentum spent.
I'll probably go for might.
I don't know if I would do 3 ranks in it, though. That's excessive.
Yeah, I think like 1 or 2.
That's alright.
Just getting 1 rank in might is enough to open up the next perk, which is Pugilist.
But that's like for fist fighting.
Now I know what I was trying to do.
Pugilist says you can add the knockdown quality to all melee attacks. So Pugilist is not just boxing. Pugilist
That's
is...
a rank. That's a 3rd tier.
Yeah, that's the 3rd tier. You have to get might in order to get Pugilist. But once you get Pugilist, every hit will knock an opponent down if you get effect.
Okay. What does Brutal Brawler do?
Brutal Brawler, the final tier. You can ignore the effects of the improvised quality and increase the damage of the basic improvised attack by a +1.
God.
Okay.
Yo, I just found an amazing talent.
You want to do strong back for might?
Strong back is the prerequisite for any of these athletics talents.
Alright.
You have to have strong back, and that opens up either human spider, born swimmer, or might as the next rank after that. You need human spider to get iron grasp, you need might to get pugilist, and then if you have pugilist, you can get brutal brawler.
Hey, Wizard.
Yeah.
Do you see the adaptable combatant one in melee? You can literally increase or decrease the reach of your weapon by 1
That's handy.
at will.
What's up?
Oh, but that's a
Hey,
3rd
Jodab.
tier. I already do. I think I already have no
What
mercy.
you doing? Get guys.
Well, we finished our Conan game a little bit early. Ian took off because his sleeping pills were kicking in and he was fading fast. They're spending their XP on leveling up their characters a little bit, and we're talking about different talents they can take.
I'm
I think
watching
that one
some of
talent,
this-
the one that does the thing.
Yeah, that one.
Pretty
That's a good one.
Exactly.
They were
That
just looking at
is
one
real
called...
good.
They were looking at one called Adaptable Combatant that says you can adjust your fighting style to suit the range of circumstances when making or defending against an attack. You may
I already
increase...
have no mercy. Good.
You can increase or decrease the reach of your weapon.
By 1 at will.
All right,
That
so...
is-
1,000 to get to that.
So in tonight's game, the enemies were all trying to stab with daggers that have a reach of 1. His sword has a reach of 2, which made the difficulty higher for the dagger guys to get in there and stab. Now, if he had Adaptable Combatant, it would increase their difficulty 2 ranks, which means they would need 4 successes to hit, which is nearly impossible.
So how many more sessions will it take to get to that amount? I think
I
it
don't
would be.
know. I mean,
so,
3 ranks is 800,
No.
right?
no, it's
6,
Per-
2, 4, 6.
Oh, 6.
I think.
600. And you would need... You'll need...
oh no, because
No.
it's a. So there's.
You will
No.
need Death Blade.
Oh, look at that. Barker actually showed up in the
I
chat.
need Deathblade. I need Adaptable. I don't think has
Mhm.
multiple.
Well, guys, I'm gonna ready to get off. You guys have a good night.
Bye.
See you, Joe.
So
Well-
I need Deathblade and Adaptable. That's 1,000. I could get those. I also want to go for the Strongback, Might, and Pugilist. And in total, that is 2,200.
So many fun options.
I think I'm gonna go grab Deathblade and Adaptable Combatant for this. Because that's pretty useful.
How much XP do you have?
I have 10,000.
No.
1,050.
No, I don't think that's.
I need the strong back
Is that even possible?
talent.
How many games have you played?
No, it's at 1,050.
Is this your third game and you haven't spent any XP?
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right. Well, I guess that makes sense. I thought maybe you had spent some XP last time you were
No,
in town.
I wasn't here
but-
the day we were in town.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, you do have that much. All right. Very cool.
I need a
I
strong
could get
back
deflated into that
one.
See, Deft Blade. You wield a blade as if it were an extension of your arm. Whenever you make a melee attack, any momentum spend or points added to Doom to add a bonus d20 to the melee test adds 2 dice instead. That is a great one, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Definitely going that route then. Going that route first because I could get both of those already.
Yeah, Deft Blade goes a long way to being effective in combat.
And
That extra dice is amazing.
next
I can
3
dodge
more sessions I'll
so
be able to
much.
get the other things.
I can dodge so much shit with strong back. What the fuck?
Blood on Steel and Killing Strike, you gonna get those too?
No, I'm going to get the strong back might and pugilist. That's what I'm going to be setting up for the next few sessions.
I guess so.
That would make me very powerful.
I think if I cannot get the Basonian one in like a couple of sessions, I'm gonna start going for the athletics kinda line for a while.
All right.
Because I'm seeing some good shit.
Yeah, there's great talents. That's probably what I would do if I was playing. I would probably buy a bunch of the... I'd buy like one new talent every week, and I'd just have Jack of all trades build where I had like everything at the basic level.
Well, I mean, I am a scout, and I do need to go like in higher places. There's one that says human spider, and you literally have, literally have climbing speed with
Yeah.
no difficulty at all.
Nice. A lot of fun things you could do with that.
That is
No.
so much fun
There's
if you
the
use that right.
open the martial arts stuff from Wanderer that I'm seeing called Symphony of Blade.
Adherent is for like clerics and stuff, right?
Sounds like a cleric thing. I'm not super familiar with it. Is that a background thing? Is it a requirement?
Well, no, it's in the talents part of the page. But everything I'm seeing is like, oh, worshipper of mistress, hags, emir, and all these things. Oh fuck.
What was it called again? Adherent?
Adherent. Falconry.
Okay, do you see where it says in parentheses exiles?
Yeah.
Alright. We do not have that book, so I have no idea about any of that. Your guess
Great.
is as good as mine. If we had the
That's
book, I could
amazing.
look it up, but because we don't, we should probably just skip all those. If we get that book at some point, if we can find it, then we'll start using it. But for now, let's not.
Well, this was fun. I almost died. I came from another campaign who was like also like almost dying every single session, which kind of traumatized me. But
I don't think you
Still
guys
fun.
were actually in any peril this time.
Yeah.
no,
The enemy
No,
had such a
but-
hard time hitting you, they couldn't even kill your skeleton.
no, but we're in like combat every session. I'm like just like.
And
oh,
the few times they did hit you, they only hit for 3 dice. So they were pretty weak sauce when it came to the physical combat.
Yeah.
The main thing was they were going to be a real bitch to hit or to harm unless you figure out their weaknesses, which are either mental attacks or elemental attacks. Either
we
of those
were gonna-
things would do damage to them.
We were gonna stay like not doing anything for like half an hour if you didn't say anything.
Yeah, well, eventually I'll give you a hint. I'll make you struggle a little bit, and then if it seems like nobody's gonna figure it out, then I'll throw some hints in there. Thankfully, I've got NPCs, and I can arguably say the NPC would hop in and do this to help you out.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Plus, Gandros is an ancient, immortal, super intelligent evil deity, so he would have figured it out.
I think it's fun. It's funny that he said take this fiend when he's literally a fiend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ironic,
Yep.
if you would. Well, this was fun. Thanks.
All right.
Goodbye.
Game